I'm
3, 2, 1.
okay.
Whoa, that's so
it's
cool.
Good. We'll wait to make sure we're good. Make sure people come in, and then we'll get in our conversation. Because it's showing me like everything right now. This is so much easier.
I'm DMing him.
Oh shit, she's sliding into the DMs. Maybe we'll have Shane Dawson on this little
I would shit my pants.
You know, sometimes people
Literally
with those like fake accounts with like the celebrity name in it show up, and then you're like, wait, is that really?
I know. You look
Especially when the profile picture is that person. Yeah.
Yes.
I have so many Shane friggin' fan accounts following me now, and I'm like, go away. I don't know him.
Look at Barry. Barry's the first one in here. Yes, Barry. We love a supportive puppy, Barry.
He's a good guy. See, I can't see who's in.
Well, because I have like the like the creator studio on my page.
Yeah, and you probably just open up YouTube and then just watch the chat on YouTube.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
It's like Inception.
We're totally new to this, everybody. Anybody that's just tuning in, this is our very first collaborative live stream, and we got a lot of shit to talk about today. So many different perspectives, and I thought this would be a very entertaining topic because you always hear me bitching on the internet in my videos, but I was like, look, I know so many other people that are so deeply attached to this entire thing. Let's fucking talk about it and just see different perspectives, because I have my perspective, Karen has one, and then Kara has hers. So if you guys are new here, welcome my friends. These are my YouTube friends. This is Karen Harris, and then Kara C to my left. I think you guys are seeing it at. This is so cool. So are you girls calling yourselves Kara Squared Britches? Yes, bitch. We love that for them. I love it.
So funny.
So if you guys like this, you guys can even chat. Cool. Perfect. So if you guys see Kara C or Karen Harris in the live chat, those are the people that are here with me today. And we're going to talk today about the Shane Dawson conspiracy collection, because it was revealed last night. We were supposed to go live last night, but he uploaded pretty late. It was like, what, 8:30 last night?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty late. So we were like, okay, we're not doing this today. We're all tired. We're going to come back and do this tomorrow. So that's what we're here to do today, to basically show our critiques on it, what we would change about it if we could, our overall vibe that we're feeling between the series, the palette, all that shit. We're here to bitch on the internet, right?
Why not?
Never.
Like, we're not problematic. Oh, so what? Does everything, okay, so everybody watching right now, does everything look good, sound good? Are we echoing or anything like that? Because it sounds good to me, but I want to make sure for everybody watching. I'll wait for the chat, and then we can kind of get into it. So just to give you guys a little backstory, because I feel like, because we talked about Shane's last video and my last live stream, and I think I forgot to mention this, but I felt like they kind of painted the beauty community in more of a negative light, like influencers don't get along, if you will. And these two people right here, I consider influencers on the internet, and this is what brought us together. So this, I don't know, like I feel like that whole, like when Morgan was kind of telling about her trip with Tarte, you guys watched that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I felt so bad for her.
Yeah, it was like, okay,
I didn't know it was Tarte, but I guessed.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was Tarte either, but
yeah.
Thanks for spilling that one for us.
We're kind of assuming it was Tarte because she said it was Hawaii. But I feel like they just really kind of painted the beauty community, like beauty influencers, like they don't get along. And I don't think that's real life. I think it's more of the certain like standard is like that. But I think that the beauty community is a lot further beyond that. Like, that's how we all met. I feel like I'm screaming because of these damn headphones.
No,
yes,
like I think that there's got to be some certain level of backstabbing once you get to a certain level. And like the bigger ones, I think they do a lot of that. But the smaller ones, I find like at least the people that I've interacted with have all been super supportive. And you don't get any of that like super dramatic shit with each other. Like you don't get smaller YouTubers shit talking other smaller YouTubers.
Right.
And like
I'm sure it still happens, but I don't think it's as common as like, I know everybody says like, oh, the beauty community is such an ugly place. Whereas I don't feel like it is that way. I just feel like that's the type of stuff that gets more attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this comment said, this is Things by the Berg. Yes, they sort of grouped all influencers together in a negative light, and that definitely bothered me. I felt the exact same way. So I wanted to invite these two in here because we have different perspectives as far as this launch in specific goes. So we have Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, two massive beauty influencers, if you will. Jeffree Star is a massive powerhouse within the beauty industry. And me and Karen had such an amazing conversation yesterday. It just created so much conversation, and it was like, we didn't argue about it. It was very positive. It was very like seeing different people's perspectives, voicing your opinions, and having an opinion is okay. And then we even kind of, I don't know, I feel like we kind of changed each other's minds a little bit, like kind of made it so, okay, I see where she's coming from. She sees where I'm coming from.
Isn't it amazing how that can happen when you have like a rational exchange of ideas rather than just getting completely butthurt? Like, amazing.
Well, and just having your own mind made up, and not just like, oh, this influencer I watch said XYZ thing, so that's what it is. It's you know, they're gonna buy the palette, so I'm gonna buy the palette.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of want to break down our different perspectives on this, because I, on one hand, like this is my perspective, is I am like a Jeffree Star cosmetics supporter. I've been subscribed to Jeffree Star forever. And then you guys will say your perspectives as well. But I've been subscribed, but I'm blocked on Twitter by Jeffree because I've been very vocal about just things that I don't agree with within the industry, and his collaboration with Morphe specifically. Yeah, it was like after that I was blocked. So I'm like, in the back of your mind, you're like, why the fuck would you support somebody that like disregards somebody with criticism? Because it's not like I'm hating on them. And I think that's like a whole nother topic. But then you have me, who's an avid like Shane Dawson borderline stan. Like I love Shane Dawson. So it's like I have that attachment because I grow very attached to social media influencers or people that I follow on the internet. So that's my perspective. And then I'll bounce it over to Karen because, again, we have very different perspectives on this. So I thought it'd be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, so mine is I do buy Jeffree Star products. I really like his liquid lipsticks. They were like one of the first. The first was Kat Von D, which is
but look at like, where we are now.
For me to find a nude that isn't like a pinky nude and to find like a brown nude was so hard for the longest time. And so I was really so excited to find his lipstick collection, and they worked well. And now with the eyeshadows, I have a few of the palettes. Some of them I feel like work better than the others. Like I love Blood Sugar, but then I'm like, the Blue Blood wasn't like my favorite. So, and then sometimes I'm subscribed to him, sometimes I'm not. Like it just goes.
So you're very back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. Because I don't have like I don't know. I don't really stand too many big YouTubers anymore. And then Shane Dawson, I just know from like passing and seeing the Jeffree series one, but I never watched him like growing up. And I think a lot of people did. I saw somebody's video today. He's like, I don't even wear eyeshadow, but I want to buy this palette. I'm like, why?
I know. Why would you do that?
We lost you, Britt.
I know. I'm like trying to figure out where I went. Because I'm like, where
like,
did
mute
I
yourself?
go?
Oh, there's a stop cam button on the bottom. Did you?
There you go. My camera must have unplugged. So there we are. Sorry, guys. Where'd Britt go? Here I am, the beauty of live streams.
Yeah. But I think a lot of what me and Britt were talking about was just like, I don't even know, just the mind fuckery of the whole situation.
Seriously.
And them like doing the whole, oh, Shane, so has never had a good deal and blah, blah, blah. And I was telling her, I was like, yeah, but I still see all the Louis Vuitton boxes turned around in his closet. So it's like, you're not suffering. Like,
right.
Like, you know.
I do. But can I read this really quick? Because this is what kind of kicked off. And I think, Kara, I sent this to you even.
Yeah, screenshotted it.
This is where the whole Shane Dawson topic came up between Karen and myself. Because I was just like, wow, I didn't even look at it like that. And it was, I'm going to try to find it really quick. Because I was just like, wow, I'm shook after this, because then I found out like she's not really a Shane watcher. And it made me totally understand why she felt the way that she did. And this is where it's like everybody's entitled to have their own opinions. Oh my God, we talked for so long.
Yes,
yesterday.
I was going to say we would have probably gotten fired from our jobs.
It was so funny though.
I was like sucked in on Twitter. I was sucked in on Instagram. And I'm like, I can't do this.
We got to do things. So
people have jobs.
I know. The last comment, because this was in our, if you want to go on Twitter, we're both on there. We were going back and forth about Anastasia Beverly Hills. And mind you, me and her are friends, but we're sitting here going at it on Twitter yesterday. And the last thing that she said was, I mean, I think it's dumb that Shane Dawson, who just started playing with makeup, is going to make 6 figures on his first makeup brand deal. But hey, that's just my opinion. And I was just like, oh, damn, like that is another level of something that I didn't even think about, because I'm just like, no, Shane Dawson's king. Like, and that's where it's like, it's so funny to see the different perspectives that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Kara, you're up.
I'm like the wishy-washy fence between the two of y'all, because I feel like I have a bit of a weird perspective on it simply because Shane follows me. And so I feel like there's this like connection there, even though obviously I don't know him, but I feel this affiliation towards it. And like, you know, he and I, we don't message all the time. Like I wouldn't say we're BFFs or anything like that, but we do correspond like fairly regularly. So I have that, like, I feel like personally connected to him. I've never had any contact with Jeffree, and I don't expect that I ever would, but I mean,
I don't either, considering I'm Black. So,
you know, they're going to be.
I'll see if I can put in a good word for you.
4 hours away from me this weekend. Because, I'm like, should I?
I know. Should I show up there?
I mean, I did sign up for the meetup sweepstakes, whatever the fuck. I'm like, that would be amazing.
You're totally going to win after this live stream. You're like, I'm not a Shane Dawson stan. I don't really watch Jeffree, but pick me, bitches.
The thing is too with Jeffree is like, I still admire the artistry that goes into his products, which is why the whole Shane thing, I'm like, there's so many other YouTubers I would have loved to see him collab with that like are on the same level of skill.
Right.
But then it's like,
here's a thought that I had today was, if Jeffree Star, because I feel like he's the master of marketing. So that's where I feel like as the series goes, the less and less I'm excited about this collaboration, and the less and less I'm excited about just certain things, because it's like the more that I'm seeing, the more that I add up in my head. And I'm just like, would this have happened because it's Jeffree Star? If it was just like, pick anybody, and if they showed this entire process, because that's what everybody's most excited about, I feel. Would this be the same thing if it wasn't Shane Dawson?
That's a good point. Like if you pick somebody like you or me, like we didn't have 20 million YouTube fans that are, I mean, I'm just like looking at the stacks of merch and I'm like, you guys want to give all your money to that whole situation? Like,
I know.
I mean, you know, it's obviously they're expecting a lot of sales if their merch took off like that. I don't know. It just blows my mind. Like millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
What do you say? Like $1 million or a million pallets is what
something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they're wondering if they under ordered for it.
Yeah.
So right. They could sell even more. Yeah.
And he said it was his biggest order ever or something, right? Like he's never ordered that many pallets for himself.
Right.
So
now let's ask the uncomfortable question. Take Shane out of it. Take the series out of it.
Right.
If you were to just look at these pallets, is there anything groundbreaking about it?
No.
So it's just like,
have you guys seen like the comparison with like the Prism and the Carity palette? There's like
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. And then it's like a lot of the shades look like shades that are already in his other palettes. I mean, like that
I
green.
said the same thing.
it's not like completely mind blowing. And then they took out the one green, the shimmery green that I was just like, what?
I think everybody was like, why? I know. I said the same thing.
Yeah. I think we could have been 2 mini palettes or 1 big palette and we would have been fine. Like, we're good.
Right.
And then the lipstick shades are, I don't think I could wear any of them except maybe like the red. I don't know. I don't do metallic lips very often. So.
I think it's the kind of palette that I would probably buy just for the packaging, if I'm being honest. Although I would not be like setting my alarm and like hitting refresh a million times to try to get it on launch day. I'd probably just wait till it restocked. But,
right. That's kind of like how I'm feeling like the more that I'm watching this series. At first I was like, I'm gonna buy the pig mirror. I was so hyped over it just because I'm like a Shane Dawson stan. I love Shane Dawson. I obviously want to support him. But then this whole like consumerism is such a big thing now. And I feel like that's taking over this entire platform at the moment. And that's why I thought this would be such a huge topic, just because you have me that was just like, take my money. And then you have you two that are just like, okay, but then I should say we have Karen, but then we have Kara who's getting the PR.
Well, it didn't come today, so he's not giving me much time to fucking play with this shit. So.
I took the rest of the week off. Sorry, I won't be at work.
I'm in court tomorrow, but I'll be like, Your Honor, sorry, I gotta go. I've got like chicks showing up on my doorstep. Like,
I know you don't know who Jeffree Star is, but
I'm like, let me inform you.
You're like, wait, he's about to call his lawyers really quick.
Yeah, exactly. Honest to God.
No, so I thought that was another thing that I wanted to ask about, like, Kara, based on the fact, like, you don't have to buy it, does it make you less excited to review it?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like, there's multiple levels there though, right? Like, I'm excited to get a PR package because that's never happened. Right. I'm excited to get it from Shane because I think he's just genuinely just like the sweetest person on the face of the earth. I think like whether or not the shades are like revolutionary or anything, I think the quality is going to be there for the shades that they are. So I think, and honestly, I've just brought it up on my phone just to like review it, just look at it again. I think it's a palette that I will get a lot of use out of for the shades that they are, because it's not, say, like Jawbreaker, where it's all these different colors and I can't really wear that on an everyday basis.
Right.
So I'm
more wearable for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I would kind of expect that from somebody who's not so big into makeup, right? Like, I would think that Shane would do something a little bit more safe, so to speak, simply because I've never seen him wear like a crazy ass cut crease and all that kind of stuff. So, but no, I'm super excited to like
launch photos.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Right? To lay in Shane glasses.
That was the conversation I had. I don't know who I was talking to this morning, and I'm like, it didn't look good when he did his own makeup. The only time I thought the palette looked good is when Lipstick Nick did their makeup. And when he was like wearing it, just like, I was just like, that looks really muddy. Like, just the shades.
It's just so hard. Turned you off about it. It's so hard. We're so attached.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Sarah Smiles. Let's make up. Hey, girl. I know. I told we're trying like a new software for this. So if I missed you guys coming in and I didn't say hello, all my britches. Welcome, my two friends, Karen and Kara.
The other thing
and
too,
then
go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, like, when Kara said like it's gonna be so exciting to get PR, like that, I can totally relate to that because I don't get a lot at all. But then when you get something from a brand, like, you can't help but be excited when you're a small brand or influencer, and then it's like, oh my God, like, it's such a leg up for your channel because it's, as soon as you post that video, people are gonna find you. And so that's amazing that they're reaching out to different levels. That's really cool.
Well, and now I'm starting to get like the more, I guess, personal like perspective of when people are like, I don't care if I'm on a PR list, I'm going to be honest and this and that. And yeah, I am, but I'm not going to lie. Like, I still feel a bit of pressure knowing that this person, like, I'm a tiny channel. I am. I'm not even at 2,000. So how the hell I ever hit his radar, I don't know. but I did. And so like there's this,
and she was in the series, bitch.
well, for like 3 seconds, but still, I
didn't know that. I'm sorry.
peed my pants and like screamed loud enough to scare the dog. But like but I still like my priority as just, I don't consider myself an influencer, but like just what I'm doing with my channel is like my priority is like everybody who watches. So if I happen to step on Shane's toes because I don't like a shade because it's patchy as fuck, I'm going to say it's patchy. That's sorry about your luck there, Shane, but that's what it is. But I do see how the pressure could be there, especially if this is your full-time job and you rely on this kind of stuff. So I get that.
That's one thing I notice a lot in my live streams. Like people are always like, oh, you can't trust influencers. And I'm like, but what makes like a not trustworthy influencer? Like, how do you actually know that these people are being honest? Like, especially like I was very curious about your perspective, Kara, because like you are getting PR. It's your very first PR, you know, package. And it's a huge, like this is huge. It's huge for the industry. It's going to be huge for your channel, which is amazing. I'm so happy for you. And it's just, it makes you wonder, like, are you going to be biased though?
No pressure.
I don't genuinely think it will be, but you know that those thoughts are going to be there.
That's, I think I'm not explaining myself, but that's sort of what I'm saying is like, I still feel this pressure. Like I feel overwhelmed, frankly, that I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know when I'm getting it. It sure as hell's not today, but like to get all of that, like what they put in the reveal yesterday, all in one shot, and then to have to sort of digest it and put out some sort of usable review that's actually meaningful to anybody. I feel pressure. Right. Because I don't want to be biased. Like I do want to take a step back, but yeah, there's certainly pressure just to deal with it all, but also pressure to make him happy. But that's not my priority. And that's not the leading decision that I have. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I think it's important for viewers, not necessarily on my platform, but hopefully this gets further than just like mine and ours. It's, I don't know. I just feel like people just kind of look at influencers and they're just like, oh, we can't trust them because of this. It's like, I don't agree with that. I think I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of character and like, I could tell when somebody's full of shit, but then again, I was also fooled by Jaclyn Hill for ever. So that's where it's hard, but then at the same time, I think it's important to have these conversations, especially like to have your own opinions, because in the end, you never really know what's true and honest on the internet.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, there's like almost like a perfect amount where you don't have too many subscribers, but you're not that small. And then it
kind of blows up.
That's the thing I always wonder about. Like we talk about, you can't trust big influencers. You can't trust big influencers. It's all about the small influencers. I can't say the word, whatever. It's been a long day. But like, look at Hannah at Smoky Glow. Like she has had, like she's on a meteoric rise right now. Once she crosses into that 6-digit threshold, do we all of a sudden say, you know what? Nope, she's not valid anymore because now she's a big influencer and we can't trust her?
Right.
Like she, you know, that's sort of, I guess, the end goal of everybody is to grow your channel. And then at some point, do you become this person that nobody trusts simply because of the numbers after your name? Right. I don't know. I
think it's so foolish that we live in a world that like how many subscribers you have is like such a big thing. And they even like solidified it on the video from yesterday, the one with Morgan, when they were like, oh, all these big influence, like it gives that stereotype, like the validation. And it's just like, no, it shouldn't be like that. Like there's other influencers, like there's people in the beauty community that have billions of followers that aren't getting lip filler, that aren't getting Botox. Like you can't just make a statement like that when you have, and it's just like, I feel like it's almost like, I feel like you couldn't help but feel like viewers are being manipulated with certain things.
Well, and that's where like viewers sometimes, I see it from so many different perspectives. Like the one is when I was in New York for Ipsy, I got to meet people with bigger channels. And like the mean comments that these people have to deal with, like super nice YouTubers that I met in person. So that's something like I want to preach more on my channel is like, remember that these are all people, you know, and just be nice to people on the internet.
Be a decent human being.
Yeah. And it's like all these bigger-ish influencers, it's like, oh, people want me to correct my wrinkles, but they don't want me to get Botox. They want me to get my teeth fixed, but they don't want. So it's like, you know, that's a problem. And
I think even the fact that people are commenting on the way that people look is insane. Like, who gives a shit what people look like?
And don't watch it. If they're ugly, don't watch it. Like,
well, and like I did that video on Kat Von D and like that video that she put out where she's like, I'm not a Nazi and I'm not an anti-vaxxer. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? But I focused more on the vaccination part, and I get a comment calling me a fat fuck saying like, you shouldn't be making any sort of opinions because look at you. I'm like, I'm sorry. My weight invalidates my opinions on something like a public health concern. Like, fuck you. What's wrong with you?
If I get a lot of mean comments, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe, and I'm gonna call it like, please donate to my therapy, my weight loss,
my overhaul program.
Yeah, it's like because somebody commented on a video once of me and my husband, and I have like this nervous laugh, and so I was like awkwardly laughing through the whole video, and she's like, blah blah blah, I can tell you're like, I'm like, well, if you want to help me with therapy, feel free.
Yeah. My PayPal is linked below. Send donations.
I think that's like the ultimate like shutdown. Like if you want, it's like you're getting free content. Like it doesn't cost you anything to watch anyone. So other than your time, which
hey, time is valuable.
I find it amazing how much time and effort people will put into making these comments. It's like, just click out of the goddamn video. Yeah, like, what is your problem?
Yeah, I had a friend who said people kept telling her like, don't give us a lecture about all the glitter in the ColourPop palettes. We already know. And it's like, okay, so you don't want me to educate like people that are finding me for the first time about the fact that they might tear their eyeballs,
scratch your cornea, you know,
just a little minor thing like a corneal scratch, like no big deal.
Just like anyway, I don't know where I was going with that tangent, but
I'm telling you, like as soon as I started talking to you guys, I'm like, I know this is going to go in so many different directions. Just because there's so many areas you could just nitpick and pick apart, and it's just like it's only makeup, and like we're addicted. Like this is an addiction.
Oh yeah.
You guys disagree?
No,
I don't. I just bought a small fucking ABH palette to complain about the fact that there's small ABH palettes. Like I'm broken. It doesn't make sense.
It's such a problem.
I literally was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, you know, you don't have to buy it. I was like, and somebody was like saying like, oh, I missed like not getting a package today. And I was like, I know. I was like, it's so hard. I was like, but you know, I've been trying to like read more.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
I've been trying to read more product descriptions, baby.
When we arrive home, Barry's like, oh, I don't think the mailman came because there's nothing sitting on our porch. I'm like, that's not good.
The first step is admitting our problem, ladies.
Step one, accomplished.
Yeah, right?
Done.
No, I just think, I don't know if it's something that should be, I've seen this like a lot on Twitter, especially like with the Shane collaboration in particular. It's like people are like, oh, I don't need to eat, like take all my money. Like people are literally like gonna go
not eating
over this.
Yes. No.
It's just like, but why though? Like why? That's more or less the question of today's video. Like why do you feel the way that you do about it?
Well, and you like for you guys at any rate, like, do you ever get super hyped about getting something and it finally arrives, you look at it, you use it once and you're kind of like,
we literally just talked about that.
Literally.
Okay. Because I'm just like,
that's kind of why I decided to whip out all my Jeffree Star palettes this week. Because I'm like, do I really like these palettes? Like, do I like the formula? I forgot to do makeup today, but whatever. But like the Alien palette, hey, I think you just got money.
That's from Danica. She's lovely. I love Danica.
Yay! I've never been on a live stream.
She takes care of my daughter every now and then, and she's amazing. Thanks, Danica.
Thank you so much. I'm like, don't do that. You don't need to do that. I just see this comment Anna Marie came across. She says, I have 8 foundations. Why? I'm not a YouTuber, but yeah, I have them. I don't know why.
Options, girl. We love our options.
I've got a whole drawer full of foundations, and they're probably all fucking expired by now.
Okay, also, yeah.
It's great. No, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, I was going to say, because we had sort of talked about ABH, which is how me and Britt got into this whole thing. I started off, like, when the Norvina palette was announced, I was like, it's purple, like, it's not my thing, whatever.
See,
but it came out, like, right before, or not, sorry, the Norvina Pro, the one that just, the big one. And it launched like right at the end of the Sephora sale. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy it 20% off, whatever.
Bucket shopping. It's a thing. It is a thing. Bucket shopping.
Yeah. And then it's like, you go through like, it's like the stages of depression. So I'm like really mad that they announced the other 2. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, this is bullshit. And then I was like, you know what? I've followed ABH for so long. They're probably one of the first brands I ever bought from, like bigger brands. And it's like, they've done the same thing for so long. I'm so surprised how mad people are about them doing something different. Like, I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, let her make some palettes, let them switch it up. Like, I was just, you know, I went there. I was so mad. I was like, but that was my problem. Yeah.
And then here comes me.
Oh no, I mean, I was mad that they came out with the 2 palettes after the first one, which a lot of people were, and then the whole Carly Bible thing happened and people were even more annoyed, and now there's the minis. But it's like, this is great. Like, I'm in a sense like, wouldn't you want to be happy that they're trying something new? I mean, it literally, like, they've done 14 pan palettes for so long, like, forever. And then they were doing the carpet packaging and we were like, oh my god, I hate the packaging. And they finally changed their packaging. It's like, I don't know. It's like, can you get, I don't know. It's hard. We talked about that yesterday.
Well, it's like what you said, though, before we even went live. We're like, we're a part of the problem because we're the stupid motherfuckers that are buying it.
Do you guys watch The Fancy Face?
No.
You should. She's so
funny.
Yes. She swears like a truck driver.
I already like her.
Yes, spirit animal. She talks about some topics that I don't love, but I still watch her content because I like her. Yeah.
She did a video about ABH, and at the end, she's like, "And I'm the fucking clown that bought all 3 products."
I'm not mad at them doing something new. I'm not upset about that. I'm upset about like launching one and then like 2 weeks later dropping another one, and then a month and a half later the minis. Like, put them all fucking together so people.
You guys, Papagraph did that to me, so it's like, you know, why?
Oh shit, Papagraph.
That's what you did with that.
And that's writ large with Papagraph because her price tags. Good God.
Well, that's exactly what she did. And she did the first 2, and they're $65 for 4 eyeshadows. You're gonna get mad about the freaking pigment palettes, like this bitch.
Sit down. This bitch. And then, you guys see why I like these 2? I'm just saying.
They said it was limited to her website. I'm pretty sure they like. I saw it somewhere that it was only exclusive to her site. The rose pinky quad that she had. I can't remember what it's called. So I bought it. And then I don't know. I can look it up, I guess. I'm lazy.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. We don't care that much.
And then here it is on Sephora. And I'm like, I could have bought that on the sale. I could have, you know, it's so it's not just them. And that's why I was just like, I feel like they're targeting ABH in a way just to like talk about something. And I don't get the whole Jackie Aina or Carly argument because I feel like it's for such different markets. Like, if you're very deep, like, you're probably not looking at the Carly Bible palette. Like,
right. It's just not going to work for you.
Right. Or if you're psycho like me, you just buy all of them.
You're like,
yeah. Or you just buy the Jackie one if you're a Jackie fan. I don't think it. I don't know. That's how I.
Because you're not a Jackie fan.
Yes. Or
you don't say you're not going to buy it on Twitter, or people will fucking come for you.
Yeah, I'm not a Jackie fan, but I bought the palette because I like collecting such a palette.
I just like the colors. My problem is I see it in the store,
and you are the problem.
I know I'm the problem. That's why, like, Dude, like, I'm not gonna pretend I'm gonna do a low buy. It's just
I made that mistake. People are like, oh, I guess your low buy's over. I'm like, oh yes, that's fucking gone.
It's so funny to see though how trending it is now though. It's like, would people feel this way though?
Right.
If influencers weren't saying that they were doing it. Because you see like Samantha Robinell, she's like on a no buy. And it seems like I even heard like Robin E. Christie, she's like, I'm going to focus on using my collection because obviously that's what people are asking for now. But it's like, wait, when did this all start?
I'm going to say that it was Hannah Poston. Hannah Louise
Poston. Yeah.
Poston, sorry. Yeah, because she did that full 1 year no buy and gained a ton of traction with it and put like a lot of awareness out there. I'm not saying she's the only one who did it, but it seems to be that once she did it, now you're seeing a lot of people committing to these 1 year, which I mean, power to them.
I don't seen her channel. Great. You might like her channel if you haven't seen it. Hannah's.
I've never even heard of her, I don't think.
Oh, yeah. She's really good.
Well
she's a writer. Yeah. So she's like very good at like expressing herself. And so a lot of her no buy videos, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I feel that way, but I've never known how to talk about that. You're saying all the right things.
Right.
So
you're just saying it so much better. I feel like that's how I feel with Smoky Glow. Like I watch her videos, I'm like, she can articulate it so much better than I can. Because she says like everything that I want to say. Sometimes she says things that I don't. But then it's just like the overall message. I'm just like, yes, bitch. Like, I love it. I wish she swore on her channel because I know she swears in real life. I would just love her even more. But that's just a me thing.
Yeah. That's where I was like thinking about like when you tweeted and you're like, is there even a point of me making videos like this? And then I was thinking like, what's the solution? And I'm like, maybe the solution is people making more videos about being a smart consumer and less about let's talk about this brand. And because I seriously go through my list and I'm like, there's not a brand that like isn't problematic. And the indies, it's just that they're not big enough yet where we know it.
Problematic.
You know? Right.
That's why I've never like, aside from Morphe, because they're a bag of dicks, I have never been like, boycott a brand. Like I've never come out and been like, they're on my shit list, they're on my shit list. Who would it be?
Cosmetics.
Well, I don't think anybody needs to say that. Like,
should I think for Halloween, I should just be Jaclyn Hill in her Halloween costume. That could be a thing. I don't know what I'm going to be for Halloween.
I've got fuzzy hair going on. I'm halfway to her lipstick, so we're okay.
The shade.
Did I say that out loud? Honestly,
it's so crazy to see how. Or no, Kara, what were you saying? You said they could eat a bag of dicks.
Oh yeah, Morphe. It's the fruit of the poison. Is that the thing? Fruit of the poison tree? Like Morphe, Jeffree Star. Like somebody said to you in your one of your live streams, I think the last one you did, Britt, it was P. Louise and some other brand. I'm like, P. Louise is sold at Morphe. They just got into Morphe. And I'm pretty sure they had like some drama. I don't even remember what exactly happened, but
I can't keep up with it.
There's like not a problem, non-problematic.
Sorry, somebody just said a satchel of Richards, and that's just become my like favorite thing ever. Satchel of Richards. Thank you, Megan Hurt. That is the best thing ever.
No, I even had the thought too, just because I noticed like I've been doing a lot more of the commentary style videos and stuff, which I like because I have nobody in real life that gives a fuck about this stuff. But I'm like, in reality, like, it's still promoting these people, even if I'm trashing them and I'm saying like, I would never say like, don't buy from this company. Maybe Jaclyn Cosmetics. Even so, it's like even just saying their name, it still is promotion for them. So I'm like, even though I like doing these videos, it's kind of like a sacrifice. Like I shouldn't even watch it. Even like drama channels, like I like watching drama channels because they're entertaining. But then at the same time, now they're getting makeup PR.
And it's you're like, preaching to the choir. You are, because like the people that are my friends in real life, that they love Morphe. Like I went on a girls trip to Nashville and like some girl had this like giant Morphe palette. And I'm like, oh, cringe. Like, that's not good makeup. Like, I wanted to like rip it out of her hands and like pass it. But
swear to God, every single wedding almost that I filmed this summer,
the Jaclyn Hill palette.
I wanted to pick it up and throw it on the ground just because I'm just like,
I mean, it's a good palette. That was a good palette.
I know. That's where it's just like, we're so deeply attached. It's so funny because it's just like if I talk to my husband about it, he's like, then just don't fucking buy it. And I'm like, but that's not the point.
But that's a passive solution. I want a bitch.
It's almost like not to find it. It almost seems like it's getting to that point. It's like, are we just trying to find whatever we can to just like
make a video?
It's like be rebels and just like make a statement and just like try to be that voice to these brands saying stop doing what you're fucking doing. But in reality, they've always done it. It's just it's so much easier for them now. And I think that's another way that I'm starting to really see like the marketing techniques are changing. Like that's why like in the beginning of the video, I was like, wait, if this were the same type of collaboration, like with even if it was Jeffree Star and we'll say one of you guys, would it be the same thing? Because it's, you know, they're doing something different, which is awesome. We all love it, this and this and that. I think people are watching it too because they want to see the tea. But it's like a continuous build-up for this launch. It's genius. It is so genius what they're doing.
Sure.
I know. I'm kind of shocked that nobody else has done it.
Same. And I'm curious to see too how many other people do it after this.
Yeah, and then it'll just get stale and then because I'm wondering now, I'm like, who's gonna be on a low buy next year? Like that's what I'm curious about.
Right?
Like,
when are we all just gonna get to a point where we don't buy fucking makeup anymore? Because in the end, it's a fucking powder that you put on your eye that's a color. You know, it's just like, I think we all grow. I think we're also much more attached because of influencers, and that's where I think we're at the point too. Like, brands need influencers more than obviously we need brands because there's so many. It's just so it's crazy to see the whole entire evolution of, you know, how what YouTube was like when Marlena started, and then now you have a person like her that started this whole thing that left because of what it's turned into. Yeah, it's crazy. But then even I think too, back to the whole Anastasia Beverly Hills thing, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think people are so pissed just because we feel like brands are like deceiving their consumers so much, and it's like consumer manipulation. And I think that's why people are so pissed. Not necessarily like that they're doing something new. And I think it's just initially we feel overwhelmed and we're like, yo, slow the fuck down, like chill out. We don't need another eyeshadow palette. We don't need any brand to come out with any more eyeshadow palettes. Let's be real. We don't, but it's like, we're so overwhelmed, but they're doing it on purpose because it works. It's because it keeps us talking about Anastasia Beverly Hills. And it's just, and I think it's publicity. It's might be bad publicity, but people are going to damn sure know who Anastasia Beverly Hills are.
Well, and that's the thing, like going back to what you were saying about, you know, you don't necessarily want to like mention these brands because it's still giving them attention. Right. Doing a negative review or a negative commentary style is going to give them more views than doing something positive. Nobody gives a shit about the positive. Everybody, like, you put rant in the title and people are like, click. Like, they just want to hear people bitch, right? So negative. I mean, that's how Jimmy Chuck has got where he's got is because he's a problematic tool. And everybody talks about him. Everybody knows who the hell he is. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it's effective. Not my cup of tea, but
that's, I think, what I think even brands are starting to realize that, like, it's almost like they're following in these problematic influencers' footsteps. They see how, I mean, I think it started with celebrities. They do shit that's problematic. It gets them more publicity. So then it kind of went to influencers because influencers in some cases think they're celebrities. In a lot of cases, they are celebrities. But it's like, this is the stuff that gets them noticed. And I think, like, we'll talk about the Jaclyn Cosmetics, the Jaclyn Hill Halloween thing, like her costume or whatever. It's like, people were so pissed off about it because that was just, to me, like a blatant fuck you. And it's like, you think you could cancel me, but I'm still here. And it's so true, though, because in reality, like, there's no such thing as cancel culture. And I feel like the only people that actually talk about cancel culture are like big influencers. I don't ever see
Is it a thing that exists outside of YouTube? Like, is it a thing that the normal person walking down the street would be like, let's cancel Starbucks?
Like, I think it's just like boycott would be like a,
I guess, but like, does
more profesh word.
has there ever been in the history of ever a successful, like, true takedown of anybody from boycotting / canceling?
Exactly.
That's why I think that we're preaching to the choir, because everyone that knows, and then there's like a vast majority of people out there. I mean, you have to think, like, when people think of like Morphe, it's not just in the US. Like, they're opening stores everywhere. Like, you know, their reach is their reach is much more powerful than a bunch of YouTubers talking about them. Yeah. It's like Target. Like, I get, you know, it's
although I will say Target came to Canada and it closed up goddamn shop within a year, and I'm still salty as fuck about that. So mad. It lasted like 10 months.
Target closed down, or
yes.
Everyone else? Oh,
Target.
what?
Yes.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm not. They the skeleton of the goddamn store is still like a 10-minute drive from my house.
Wow. I want like another Target, like in my town.
Well, see, I don't have Barry and come take ours because it's not doing anything.
Everybody's like, oh, I went to Target. And I'm like, I have to go like 45 minutes to go to Target, so I never go there.
Wow.
You're like, what the fuck? How are you living?
Target, yeah, Target's a Minnesota company. Not that I'm like, it's close, but you know, like, brag about Minnesota.
You know. Pamela said, love this. Like, we're all having a girl talk about what we love. I believe that Shane Dawson's makeup palette would be great with or without Jeffree Star. It will just be bigger because of Jeffree Star. Do you guys think that? Do you guys think it would be?
Hey, this is Aspen. She's getting ready.
I don't think he would have had. Hi.
So you can't hear because you don't have an earbud.
She's like, what?
It's the earbuds she can't hear. There. Okay. Say good night to everybody. Say good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Oh my god, what a cutie.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart.
The kids always make an entrance, not ever else.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my god, so funny. So do you guys think?
I don't think he would have known what to do.
No, I think that. Now here's why I think this. Because we've seen the history with Manny MUA, James Charles, like Nikita Dragon, all these people. I think that this is, again, way too attached. I think Jeffree has so many connections and he's very easily used for those connections. I don't think I don't think this would even be what it is if it wasn't for Jeffree Star. I think it would still be big if Shane did a series. But do you guys feel like they kind of like took the whole Netflix thing and ran with it before Netflix got it out?
It's just like the perfect storm, because Jeffree's like controversial enough, but he, like, everyone keeps saying, like, there's so many people that watched his series and became a Jeffree Star fan. So they really set themselves up for like success.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you buy the makeup, anything. I mean, like, I want a fucking pig sweatshirt, and I know, like, because the pig is cute.
Yeah.
But just a single pig. I feel a little concerned about wrapping my 2X body with like a bunch of pigs. Like that. I need to bury the lead a little. Just saying.
Oh my god.
We have some ideas, Shane. We've got some ideas. More merch.
Subtle things.
Yeah.
Let's see. I hope it's Shireen. Britt, if you read this before Pamela's comment, you will see a lot of us agree that the color scheme isn't so great. Do you guys feel it's wearable?
So I post like new releases on my community tab just for like shits and giggles. And so many people, well, not so many, so many people for me, like 30 people comment. And they're like, it's so ugly. And it was so funny because I was like, yeah, it kind of is. It's I'm not gonna argue with you on your opinion. Like, that's fine. Right. Like, and I was actually really surprised because I posted the ABH mini palettes, and there were so more people saying they were really excited for them. So that's why I was even more annoyed about people complaining about the minis, because I'm like, people want that shit. Let them have it. Like, oh my god, it's just eyeshadow.
What's your makeup preference for it, like an eyeshadow palette? I would rather have I don't know, like I would say like a medium-sized palette. We'll talk about like our critiques because Kara, me and you talked about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to change this palette, how would we change it? Like, do we like, we'll start with the packaging. Do we like the packaging?
I think it's too big. Do you, Kara, how many Jeffree Star palettes do you have? Do you have all of them?
I don't have all of them. I didn't buy Blue Blood.
Okay.
I have like 4, I think, 3 or 4.
The trunks, me too. The trunks are hard to open. They're stupid. Like you're gonna break a nail. Like you have to.
I like the aesthetic. They're not practical. It's like the glam light ones, like the pizza palette that I bought. That I'm now like, can I depot you? Because it's fucking massive and circular, and you can't stand it up.
Yep.
I just like the look of it, but I know I was saying to my husband because he watched the thing with me last night. I was like, that's gonna be a pain in the ass to store. With like a little pyramid on it. I'm like, you can't even stack. You can't.
Yeah. No.
I like that it comes up. Like I like when they're like dimensional like that. Like the Lunar Beauty, the Strawberry Dream palette. I love how that like came up, but it wasn't excessive.
No.
So, I like the overall like aesthetic of the packaging, but I don't like how it's like a trunk. I wish it was a flat, almost like the Jawbreaker, but the size of like, what is it?
And they could have done like a 3D something, you know, to give it the vibe that it was pointy, or the packaging could have been obnoxious and I could have thrown that away, or, you know, if you wanted to collect it or make it removable from the packaging. I've never tried to take out my trunks, but
that's like the alien thing though. If those eyes didn't pop out, I'd be so much happier. Hate those goddamn eyes. Rip them off.
I feel like at least the alien palette, I appreciate it for its uniqueness. The trunk, since I was actually shocked because I'm like, they're gonna do another trunk. Like that's so Jeffree. Like
that.
I don't know.
That's what I liked about it though, is that it seemed like an actual collaboration between the two for me. Yeah. Like the packaging even had elements for both. At least that's what I thought. But
sure. Yeah. And you have the mini option if you don't want the
exactly. The lack of a better word.
What do you what are you most excited about with the palette? Is it like, or just the collaboration in general? Like, are you most excited about the series, the makeup, the lipsticks, the lip gloss, Shane Glosson? I'm so fucking excited over that.
I would buy that just because of the name. Like, to be perfectly honest, I would buy it just for the name, which is ridiculous, but here we are.
Right.
Yeah. And I wouldn't see. So we
can still be friends.
And you can totally like, I buy ridiculous dumb stuff, but like to me it's like it's a clear gloss. His glosses didn't get the best reviews either, so I'm like, is that the
picture? Like I had such a hard time. I have 2 of them, and that was like one of the hardest things to purchase that I've ever bought because they all looked like shit. But I'm like, there's no way they look this bad.
Yeah,
and they really don't. Like the camera just didn't do it justice. But I'm just like,
I don't like the packaging of the glosses though. I'm a little busy that they use that like stratosphere CN Tower looking thing. I don't like that. But
see, I like it.
Yeah. And same with the concealers. I was just like, I could buy one, but I don't need a concealer. And then the packaging was, again, it wasn't a packaging buy, which is weird because I buy a lot of stuff
just for the packaging.
I will buy it. If it has glitter, it's coming home with me.
Let's paint like why? I bought my glam like
this.
So yeah.
But how about what the hell is it? How much is it? Do we know how much it is?
I don't know. People are saying it's expensive. I have no idea.
I didn't watch it. Jeffree did a live on Instagram today going through everything and all prices, and I didn't have time to watch it.
Can somebody comment in the chat if they know how much everything?
I know. Do we know how much it is? Because I don't think that they said that at all in the series.
I'm gonna guess it's
I think they said
at least like $60, right?
See, how much is it? Like 56, 58?
Which one? Are they all different prices?
72.
Oh, 72. For the one or the bundle?
I know. Like if it's 72, like that's a
oh, okay.
Oh, that's 52.
Oh, that's not bad. That's terrible. Yeah.
Give it $20 make all the difference.
We're like, wait. Okay, so 72 for the mini and the big palette. So to bundle them together, how much do we know how much the liquid lipstick collection is? Because I wish they did a mini with that. I said that in my video yesterday.
That was a good idea.
The pig box. I gotta say, I like the pig box.
I love it. I just wish it wasn't full size liquid lipsticks. I wish they just scaled it down. It's $90. Oh no, because they're full size. It's $90 for that.
That makes sense. It's probably cheaper than buying all of them separate.
But as soon as I hear the price, I have to like tack on an extra like 25% for the exchange rate. So when I hear 90, it's like 110 Canadian plus like shipping and all that shit. Although if anybody in the chat is from Canada, there is a website. I will just stick it in here right now, where you can order it through Canada and then you don't pay all the shipping and all that shit. Because I ordered the Alien palette. I paid like 20 US for the expedited shipping, which is like almost $30 Canadian. And then I got a $45 FedEx bill for the import fees. So that fucker cost me like $125. It was insane.
I always wonder about fees. Because like I've ordered stuff from like Canada and the UK and stuff. And I'm like, am I gonna get like, is the guy gonna be like, here, pay me $100 so I can give you your palette?
I don't know. I don't think it works quite as much the other way around, but I'm just looking at the website.
But seriously, also that like we have so much access to makeup because I'll talk to people from back home and I'm like, I don't know how you guys afford the collections you have because it's already ridiculous here. And to see people from overseas like acquiring palettes, I'm like, oh gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. The shipping and the import fees are just insane. So I would only ever buy it from like Eleganza, which I just put in the chat, or BeautyLish, because then I know what the import fees are going to be because they already calculate it for me. Whereas when I buy it from his website, I get like a surprise at the like a week after it arrives. I'm like, fuck you, FedEx.
So if you buy it from this site, you won't get that?
I get free shipping over 39 Canadian.
Oh, and that's awesome. I just put it to like the screen so people can see it.
Yeah. So they don't carry like everything Jeffree Star, but they have a really good selection on there.
Do they usually have new releases?
Yep. Yeah, they had. That's where I bought Jawbreaker when it first released, and they are going to be carrying the conspiracy one. So.
I was so glad because in like one of the episodes they were like, "Oh, we're going to go exclusive with Morphe." I'm like, that would have been the worst.
Ebenezer Beauty, fuck them. Sorry.
I honestly, I don't think I would have bought it if they did that.
It would have been a really tough decision.
Yeah. What's like, okay, so what would be like a deal breaker? Because I almost called this like makeup deal breakers because in my mind, I think this is a whole nother like marketing technique is this whole sellout thing. And I think Morphe was the people that started this. Like, let's just say that it sold out because I find it very hard to believe that some of this shit sells out so quickly. Like, I even think like the merch, this Jane Dawson merch, like all of that to sell out within like 10 minutes when they supposedly bought so much, which I don't think the merch they bought as much, but I just have a hard time accepting that things sell out that fast. Like I did a video about Gymshark with Whitney Simmons. Like that sold out within like 15 minutes. It's like, is this real though? Like, are these companies really selling out or are they just doing it to create more hype, which I think a lot of them are, but I think that's another thing. It's just like, it creates more of an environment to like, just buy as fast as you can. And that's one thing I was like, I'm glad that they kind of showed everything before like the first, because a lot of places, I think they wait until the day that it launches to show what the products look like. Is that an unpopular opinion, or do you feel like it's opposite?
That they show it like not enough advance notice. It's hard. I like when Manny did his Strawberry Dreams and you could buy it. Like he made the video and you could buy it right now. Yeah, I love that, but I'm savage. Like, so like the Milk launched, I'm like, fuck me. Like, just tell me when the damn thing's coming out.
Right. I feel like with Manny launches, you don't really know when, like, you know that it's coming, but you don't know exactly when.
Yeah.
And then when he's like his video is okay, it's live, but then it's not like one of those brands that sells out super fast either. Like all of this hype with this collection, I'm just like, it's gonna sell out so fucking fast, and it's just gonna create like the most just annoying fucking shopping experience. And I hate feeling like that when I'm shopping. I don't let my husband go shopping with me because I hate it so much. I'm just like, leave me the fuck alone. Let me take my time. And I want to like pick out the things that I really want to think about it. And I think that's like on the uprise of almost like consumer philosophy with shopping for makeup now.
Well, I did that video back during the summer sale at Sephora where I was like, shop with me, and did like the whole online thing to show like just how ridiculous
I am. You did one of those too, didn't you?
What?
Did Karen do one of those too?
No, but I did a video today and I just like held up a bunch of palettes and I was like, you can buy this or this.
So you might not have seen it then, Karen, because I think we just discovered each other today. But like I did, like I showed my screen as my video and just did like a voiceover of me shopping for the 20% thing. And I have completely forgotten my train of thought on this. So
sorry,
what the hell are we talking about?
Somebody did say that in the chat. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. We were talking about like feeling pressure and whatnot. So I hate when there's a new launch and you feel like you just like grab the first thing and shove it in and just check out. You don't really get to like suss it out and really decide what it is that you want and sort of weigh the options. Like you feel stressed, and I don't want to feel stressed. I want to not feel stressed. So. I want
it to be an enjoyable shopping experience.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's like when Sephora every now and a fucking blue moon, they put up one of those like $100 gift certificates.
Oh, they're on my such shit list right now. Oh my God. We can have that.
It is not a commodity. So you're not selling out of shit. It's a goddamn virtual code. So that should be available all of the time. Also, if you have to pay like $1,000 to get this fucking thing, give me $100. Or whatever the number, like how much do you have to spend now to get that? It's like $250, whatever. Anyways, it pisses me off.
I tried looking at the figures of like how much have I spent? Because I have like 5,400 points just chilling because I can't get these fucking gift cards. I'm like,
well, because nothing else is worth getting.
Exactly. I'm like, I'll just save them, whatever.
I'll take $5 perfume, please. Like, no, fuck you.
Right? My cousin and I were on there from like 9 to 10 o'clock, just refreshing. And there was $100 one that showed up once. And then if you refreshed it again, it was gone. That was the only time. But they're like, oh, make sure you check back every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Like Pacific Standard or Eastern Standard.
On Thursdays at 9, nothing happens.
Yeah.
They brought these in. They brought these like super nice whatevers in. Because remember they used to do those August ones where they'd give you like the mega prizes or the mega rewards. And then that went to shit because they sold out so fast. So they gave everybody $50 gift certificate. Just give me a $50 gift certificate and I'm fine. Keep your fucking
exactly.
I want the rewards. Just like make it worth it.
I know. That's why like I always say, you guys don't have Ulta in Canada, do you?
Not yet. No. But we've got Shoppers Drug Mart and their point system is so good. It's so good.
Is the same as Ulta's then. Because Ulta's their point system is, I just got like 7 things. I spent over like $130. I got everything for free because of my points.
Yeah, that's when I redeem my point. I save up my points until I have enough for $300 worth. And then I order a shit ton of stuff online. And I get like, that's where I got the Dior Air Flash for free and a bunch of other shit. So I'm just like, I'll just keep ordering them. And they have 20 times the points all the time.
Wow.
What are you giggling at?
I said you're welcome for that Dior Air Flash.
Oh, yes. I'm now addicted. Thank you.
It's so good.
All goddamn foundation, but it is. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so fun. I love that. Let's see.
I caught Aspen playing with it, and I'm like, no. Every spray is like $10. No.
I would never use that foundation, though. Like, if I did a full face of foundation now, I would never use that foundation because it's so expensive. But it's like, I usually use like 3 like I do like and I could cover like this whole side of my face and then I'm done. So I'm like, okay, I could justify it because I still have that same bottle.
Sephora used to do a aerosol foundation too. It was pretty good. I picked it up, but I think they stopped making it. Right? I haven't seen it.
I tried looking for it. I threw it out because I know mine expired. And then I tried looking for it to do a comparison video because I finally bought the Dior and I'm like, oh fuck, go figure. It's gone now. But whether you support this brand or not, Unique has one now that I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do a comparison with the Dior because I think it's like $30 something. But the whole MLM, do you guys follow those types of videos? Like people are going off about MLM companies.
I did buy the Lion King palette.
The which one?
Palette. The Lion King one, the collab with can't even remember.
Was it Lioness?
Yes, Luminous.
Luminous. That was it. Yes, it was Beyonce.
That was a good palette.
I almost bought that, but then I didn't realize they were an MLM company, which was really weird because they were available at Ulta.
Mm-hmm.
It was so.
I was
weird.
like, I'm not. If I can get an Ulta, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Like,
right. I know,
I'm gonna read through our chat to see if we missed anything because I feel like we had so many good ideas.
I know that's where I tried like keeping up, but they went so fast, and then I would get talking. This is what always happens to me. I'm like flipping to the chat, but then they go away.
I saw one. It was a while ago, and I'm not going to try to scroll to find it. I think it was Brandy who said it. I think it was saying like if we could all have this kind of like respectful discussion, and I know Britt, you and I talked about that earlier today, where like rational people can disagree, and it doesn't mean that one person's right and one person's wrong. It just means we have different opinions, and that's kind of how conversations work. Like you exchange these thoughts, and they're not necessarily the same, and it doesn't mean that you have to like get all up in arms and bent out of shape because somebody doesn't like the red that you do. Like it's not that deep. So that's why I just find Twitter to be fucking exhausting. Hilarious, but exhausting.
Yeah.
Like I can't even log on without getting pissed off.
Like on everything, it's unrelenting. Like it just doesn't stop.
I literally like anytime I post something controversial, and I have like under 100 followers on Twitter, I somehow get like not yelled at, but like kind of yelled at, and I'm like,
I had like 200 or 100 at the beginning of like July, and now I'm over 1,000, and I'm like, would you people? First, what do you think I'm tweeting about? Because I'm not that interesting. Like, Jacqueline Hill writes something about like, do you guys want me to like videotape my Halloween party? And I wrote back, no, thank you. Genuinely not interested. And people are like, well, I think you're interested enough if you're commenting. I'm like, it was a fucking yes or no question. I answered no. What do you care? Watch it all you want. Go fucking balls to the wall, but leave me the shit alone. Like,
it's crazy. Like it is so crazy how. I mean, it's because of what's like. I could say so much right now because I'm just like these are the examples that people are setting though. Like even though we'll talk about Jacqueline Hill, it's like she knew that would be a bad idea, but it's like you make a mockery of it. That shitty ass behavior is teaching all of these children that are on this platform because let's be honest, like social media platforms do not monitor who is on their platforms whatsoever. Like Jocelyn, who's 7 years old, my stepdaughter, she watches YouTube, which not anymore, but it's like you have these kids on here that are seeing such shitty behavior and it just teaches them that that type of stuff is okay. So then they just go and just like it's just like internet muscles, and it's crazy that it's just like, wait, are we like
today? I don't know what the hell she was watching, and when she explains the story, it takes a long time, and I have to sort of piece the pieces together. But she's telling me she watched some video, and there was a plane flying, and it had nothing, and then all of a sudden, some guy drew a dick on it, and now it's hilarious. And I'm like, can we back it up a second? You're 7. What's a dick? Like, how do you even know what?
How do you know this?
And how do you know it's hilarious? I'm like, Jesus
my
Christ,
mom yelled at iPad.
It's just crazy how it's like what.
Well, now I'm worried she's going to go to school and draw dicks over everything. Principal's office.
What are these? So,
Mom of the year,
right? Like, yep, I'm the dick drawing mother. That's me. Yeah.
What was the movie Superbad when he's drawing like pictures of dicks all over everything and then stuff them in his lunchbox?
That'll be my kid. I've got the one who eats rocks and the one who draws dicks. Those are my kids. Welcome to my family.
So I went through our DMs, Britt, and there was at one point we were talking about marketing, and I was saying something about Sephora being the real enemy, and I was saying that maybe Norvina had signed some contracts with Sephora, and they were kind of testing the waters, like Jeffree Star and Shane, when they called Morphe, they were like, let's see if they'll take an exclusive. And we were alleging conspiracy. Allegedly. Because the big four palettes, we're at Ulta. I saw them on the website. I don't really know if they're still up there or not. And then now it's Norvina is going to be a Sephora exclusive brand. So maybe there were some back in, stuff we don't know about. And then we were talking about maybe Sephora jumped on an exclusive. And then you said Sephora's on your shit list. And then we're like, are retailers to blame? And I was like, well, I mean, some people use contracts, and like with Jackie Aina, they're like, she can't say anything because she signed a contract with Too Faced. And I'm like, well, maybe Norvina can't tell us everything because she signed a contract with Sephora. It's like, we don't know. We don't know anything.
We're just making people.
It's like, and the other perspective I have is I work for a small family business, and we, not the same industry, but we have to do influencer marketing. That's just the way it is. But obviously I'm not working for Anastasia level, but to give your money to somebody to give a product for free is a big deal. And people expect it in my industry. They expect to be given free things to try out. I'm like, you don't understand. That's it's coming from my, literally, it's like when you ask a small business for something for free, it's like going to Target and saying, can I I don't know, you want me to take it out of my paycheck?
Yeah.
I'll review your bag of milk.
Right?
It's like people will always say like, oh, can we get free shipping? And I'm like, no. Do you want me to pay for it?
See, I don't deal with like industry in that sense, but I don't know if you know, Karen, but I'm a lawyer. So we get people that want free consultations. I'm like, that's an hour of my time. I'm like,
right.
Why would I just
money
put it away? Like there's a value to it. So no. Right. But thankfully, we don't have influencers being like, "Hey, can I test drive a divorce, please?" So, well, in that regard, but
I'll promote your law firm in my video when I discuss my
Instagram live from Family Court.
It's such a real thing, like as much as we're joking about it now, like it's such a real thing.
The Ace family divorce, I can see it now. Sponsored.
Oh, Karen, Kara, sign you up. Do you guys in the chat have anything else you guys want us to comment on, just to see our different perspectives, opinions, chit chat, anything like that? Sephora got some people talking. I think I saw a lot of people starting to comment with Sephora, and then I see hashtag Dick Mom.
There's my merch idea. There
you go, Dick Mom.
Sorry, Satchel of Richard's mom.
Yeah, right. Oh, what did we think about? I never talked about this yesterday. Rich Lux being heavily in the series.
I mean, good for him, right?
Yeah,
capitalizing on.
What I was saying with Barry last night as we were watching is like, I like that they're just inserting these little clips of like other people, like people I don't really recognize. Wow, it's been a long day. But like, it's not like the usual suspects, and it's not the same people over and over again. Like, I like they're spreading the wealth, but the key feature is definitely Rich Lux. So
yeah. Well, I think a lot of the drama channels, I think, are not happy about the fact that I'm sure some of it's jealousy, but then they're he's not the only drama channel.
Well, he didn't choose to be in it. Nobody's
that we know of.
There's some weird editing in that video.
My experience as being in one of the videos. So nobody reached out to me for permission.
Yeah, how does that work? So
I just showed up on the screen and I fell over half dead.
I mean, you've got to wonder, right? Because I don't think everyone they featured was featured in the best light. All of a sudden I was like, why is Coffee Break with Danny on the screen? I don't understand. People were flashing on the screen. Did you guys notice that? And I was like,
yeah. I was kind of wondering because I didn't really quite see what it was attached to.
Yeah.
Except it kept being her saying Two Face.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. And then
I
that
think
as
that
an
was what it
influencer
was.
would bother me because it's like, why are you using my shit and you're monetizing this video?
Right.
Because
There's
Trend
no-
Mode does that.
Falls
Right
under
now,
fair
my
use. Like,
I was having a
maybe I'll get my
conversation
check in the mail.
for like,
Right.
no, you're getting the free makeup. Pay your bills with the makeup.
Has Kara, I want to ask you this. Has your channel changed at all since being featured in that?
I gained subscribers from it because like he put my face in there, but then in his description box there was like the featured
Okay, that makes sense.
So there's a
okay.
link to my channel down there.
Right.
Not a link to the video, but a link to the channel, which whatever the video was like over a year old.
Right.
So I gained like not a massive amount. Everybody's like, your channel's gonna blow up now. I'm like, I gained like 60, which is amazing.
Right.
But it's not like I gained like 10,000 overnight or anything like that. And I wouldn't expect that I would. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
I'm always curious because it's especially I probably should have mentioned this in the beginning. Like we're all three of us are content creators on YouTube. Like we all do videos, we all review products, we talk about makeup, all that shit. So we don't have like the sole like we're only a consumer because I think we all have some sort of PR, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
like a little bit.
yeah, like I've got like Gerard Cosmet. I've gotten like a couple, but nothing like I buy far more than I actually purchase. But then I almost wish that we had like I almost asked Hannah to join in on this, but I thought 4 people would be too many. That way we were all talking at the same time because she's like, I'm not buying from this brand, period. So getting her perspective would have been pretty cool on just these different topics. But I forget where the hell I was going with that.
I don't know, but people are going off about James Charles.
Oh God,
Jimmy
I
Chuck.
care about James Charles again. Jesus Christ!
No.
And
I'm so mad at CoverGirl for unleashing him on us.
Here's my new palette. It's just smaller, so you can travel more conveniently.
But it's not a scam.
Because people that can't afford a freaking 30. Well, how much was the original palette?
It's like 39, and this was like 27 or something. Like
okay,
yeah, it's
so
the 99.
So people that can't afford a $39 palette, they can afford to travel all the time. Like,
well, and then he's going on about like pro artists. Like, is a pro artist going to buy a mini palette? That makes no fucking sense. Go take a seat.
Not at all.
Sit in the corner. Shut up.
Just sit.
But he thought about it for 9 months. He worked on it for 9 months.
It must have taken an awful lot of thought right there.
Like I just hate even. I just hear his name, and I'm just like, it just.
I want to send him to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. Voice checked. Sorry, I'm mean. I'm mean when I'm tired. I'm sorry.
I just don't get the whole. Okay, and then the other thing too is like, I do feel like men are dominating the beauty industry, and it's so hard to talk about it because I don't want to be like, oh, because I'm a woman, like I think women should get preference, but I also feel like we should try and help women-owned companies. And like, even when the whole Juvia's Place thing happened, I was like, but like, she's done so much for womankind.
She's not helping her situation right now, though.
What?
I said, Chi-Chi is definitely not helping her situation right now.
Yeah.
Like, to this day.
I still try to think of like, when I met people in New York, I'm like, we're all just so regular. And it's like, it's so hard. I know there's this like standard we all want to hold each other accountable to, but it's like, I can see somebody having a bad day and like saying the wrong thing. Like, I feel like I did that yesterday and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get canceled. I'm going to get canceled.
I'm canceled.
I'm like, people that never like talk to me or talking to me, and I like said the wrong thing. I was talking to Brittany about it. I was like, I feel like I shouldn't have said what I said.
No, you shouldn't be afraid of it. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like
it's hard. You're never gonna make anyone happy.
Yeah, because I said on my video before, I'm like, listen, I'm so outspoken and I don't articulate the way that I probably should, but I will most likely say something problematic at some point just because we're human beings. Like, people are gonna fuck up. It's how you handle it from there. And I hate that everybody is like, well, you can't forgive Jaclyn Hill. I'm like, listen, Linda, that's a totally different situation, though.
That's
totally
different.
It's totally different.
That's still just a whole steaming pile of horse shit. And her being like, I'm going to dress up like like, you know what? You are not the victim in this situation. Just fuck right off.
Yeah, it all comes down to, like, I honestly don't believe that cancel culture is a real thing. Like, I can't help it.
It's not effective. No, people jump on bandwagons, but they jump on and off so damn quick that it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's trendy to cancel somebody.
I think the only time it was ever like, holy shit, maybe this is real, is when James lost like 3 million subscribers in one day or 3 days or something like that.
Right on back though, doesn't he?
And that's where it's like, but is this all just a publicity stunt though? Like, was that actually real? Because he's best friends with the CEO of YouTube. Like, she could easily go in and be like, unsubscribe this many people and just hit enter and it could happen.
Yep.
That's where it's like, there's so many holes. And I think that people are in certain positions for a reason. And I'm just kind of like, I'm at the point now, I'm like, do I even want to cover this type of stuff anymore? Because I don't really feel like it's effective anymore. Because Karen made such a good comment to me. She's like, it's not necessarily your platform that is like, that needs to hear this stuff. But obviously the people who watch my stuff, and especially live streams because they're so long, it's like the people that you want to hear it, they're not going to hear it because they're not going to want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. How do you guys feel about like what the hell was I going to ask about? Shit. I saw a follower. I started reading. I was going to say I saw a follower, but I just read James's followers, youngins for the most part. I just saw a comment and I was like, oh shit, I want to comment on that. I tagged this one. It's from Glam with Kelly. She said they were supposed to have a 9-part series and the palette comes out Friday. I'm hoping the rest of the videos are all the drama. They did sneak a lot of it in the preview. That was a seemingly like very hot topic today. Like a lot of people were pissed off because they haven't talked about James yet. Where
I don't think they're gonna do it.
I just want to know who doesn't know who Jenna Marbles is.
I didn't even catch that. When did they say that? I'm so confused about what is happening.
He showed it and it was like a teaser for the next episode, and it was supposed to cover the drama of the beauty community. And it was like, and it was Morgan was talking about must be that brand trip. And that's why I said in my last video, I'm like, I was hoping that she would say it because that's the only thing that I'm just like, how don't you know who Jenna Marbles is? But she was saying like, I asked her who Jenna Marbles was and she said she didn't know. And he was like, everybody know who's Jenna Marbles is. Like, he like flipped out about it, but it was just like one of those things that's funny. So it's like, it's just like a stupid drama that I want to know just because I thought it was funny. But I don't care about like the James and Tati drama. I don't care about it at all.
It's such old news at this point. Like, what new can be said about it? Like, who cares?
You probably talked about this, Britt, but we've already talked about how we all think like Jeffree Star is like somewhat owner of Morphe, right? Like, I think you not tested that theory?
Investor or something. Like, he's definitely with them somehow.
He's got to have his hand in the pocket somewhere.
I think they've definitely edited out all of that drama. Yes. I think like you can, because like how come Tati's not in this series? Like, you know, she was there at some point. If they're featuring like random small YouTubers, how is like Tati was on his like private jet and they were like hanging out, and now the timeline is so close to in October. Like,
yeah, I feel like I also don't like how I like that he puts the dates and everything, but I can't keep up with it. I noticed like he'll put like October of 2018, but then it jumps back, and I think he does keep us watching. I would much prefer it if they kept it in
order.
In a linear fashion. Yeah. Right. My brain works. I like things to go in order.
Yeah. Right, and I think that's why I feel like the more that I'm watching, the less I'm like excited. And the more that I feel like they're manipulating the whole situation.
Somebody just commented, I kind of feel like lawyers stepped in and some stuff was cut. Oh, I 100% believe lawyers are involved.
The lawyer says that the lawyers were involved.
Yeah. Kara's over here like, I'm a lawyer, and yes, they definitely.
Yeah. I think that if you're expecting drama, you're probably going to be disappointed. My thing is going to be like, in a year, will they still be friends? And then will you feel like an idiot for buying the palette?
Right. Just because in all the situations, Jeffree is the common denominator. Like, Manny, Laura Lee, Gabrielle Zamora, like all these other influencers, which Nikita Dragon, it's like all these other influencers, and they all aren't friends with just Jeffree anymore, but they're all friends together still. And that's just us being too deeply attached to these people or this community, I should say.
I mean, because they're putting a bow on it. They like lit up the tree and they're ready to sell it to you.
Oh, they're like,
I could be best friends with anyone if I'm gonna get like $1 million. Like, whatever.
And that's like, I'm so glad you said that about Shane, because that was what really sparked this whole thing, was when you're like, I think it's bullshit because especially coming from people like us, like, how did you guys learn how to do makeup? Probably watching YouTube videos, right?
And Jacqueline
Hill, right? So that's where it's like people like us that are just like normal ass people that learn from this platform, not learn from one of the greatest people on like Jeffree Star, Lipstick Nick. Like, you have all these massive connections, so it's like, it was so just interesting to see you say that, like, he's been doing it for like 5 minutes, but yeah, he's about to cash in millions. But then I don't know, I just couldn't help but feel like, I kind of feel like they saw the hype over Marlena in the whole Netflix collaboration, and they were probably like, oh shit, we should do something. And then kind of kicked it from, I hear typing.
That's me. Sorry.
Oh, I hear typing somewhere.
Sorry. I'm mad. I'm getting distracted by reading comments. When I see my name show up highlighted, I'm like, what?
No, but do you guys have anything else that you guys want us to talk about? I think this was fun. Just getting different opinions.
See, opinions can be different and it can be okay.
That's right. I do feel like
a message
talking about drama, more comments started coming in though.
Oh yeah.
It's so fun. Like, why does drama entertain people? Like, why are people so interested to see the drama and stuff? I don't foresee it telling us anything that we do.
When you're driving down the highway, why do you turn your head when there's a car at the side of the road? We all just like want a rubberneck because it's not our lives. So we may as well watch somebody else's lives flame in shambles and point and laugh. So we're terrible people on the inside. That's what it all comes down to.
Right. All right, one more thing. Oddly Aquarian, because she's been commenting like a mofo, said, honestly, who wouldn't want to cash in? Who would pass that opportunity up?
Oh, if I can get 5 million in a day, sure.
Right?
I'll make all the goddamn palettes for 5 million in a day.
I'm like, it's so interesting though, because I think that's very interesting too. Especially since she's, like we said, 5 million, because I just watched or I was listening to Tati's like announcement video, and she said that she had gotten offered 5 million to do a collaboration or something. Mm-hmm. She was offered 5 million. She probably could have made 10. Like, she was guaranteed 5 million to do, it was a collab or something. And then she could have made probably 10 million, but she passed it up to do her own brand.
So is Shane sloppy seconds?
I think Tati just has like a big picture plan. Like, her brand, she said she's got like 39 launches already in her head. So she's not enough. You can't compare Tati to Shane. They're so.
It's like, I feel like I definitely think that something happened. Just seeing how do I want to say this? It's kind of interesting to see Tati's launching a couple days before Shane's. Again, we're too attached to these people. And then Tati and Jeffree aren't friends anymore. But it was like a thing that I remember when Halo Beauty came out. She said Jeffree stepped away from doing, must be the brand deals that like everybody else was doing at the time. Because everybody was doing like the Sugar Ray hair. Do you guys think that, I don't know, do you think that it was like maybe Tati was going to be a collab with Jeffree? Or do you think it was just like she kind of felt like.
I don't think Tati for her brand would have collabed with Jeffree.
I don't think so either. I think a lot of people didn't like those two together, which I was one of those. I did not like Jeffree and Tati together.
Yeah, she mentioned that in some video at some point, how she got so much flack whenever he was on her channel, and then she never really had him on there again. So I don't know. Although weren't they all like hanging out for a while, her and Shane and Jeffree at some point? Yeah.
No.
We may never know.
We probably won't because we don't know these people, even though in our minds we know these people. I said this in yesterday's video, Samantha Robindahl, and it was on her podcast, her and Alyssa's podcast. They were talking about parasocial relationships. If you like this conversation right here, that's such a good podcast because it makes us feel like as viewers, like we're entitled to know like what's going on with these people's lives. Almost like how when Jacqueline and John split up, everybody was like, we need to know, we deserve to know what happened. It's like, no, you fucking don't.
You don't.
It's just, it's so funny. The whole thing is so funny to me.
Yeah, like nobody else has ever gotten divorced. It's like,
well, and like from my experience with divorce, it's never really just one thing. Like there's a whole shit bag of stuff that happens to get people to that point. And can you imagine doing it with like 5 million or more people like vested in that relationship? Like I'm sure it wasn't anything petty. It must have been like a long time coming, is my guess at any rate.
Right. I was deeply invested in that relationship. Oh my God. And then
they sold it. They made it look great. Yeah.
I'm like, I will never again be that invested.
Well, and then there was like so many things now where people are like, was she really on food stamps if like her dad was like this rich farmer? And, oh God.
I don't believe any of it anymore.
Her lips are moving. She's lying. I don't believe any of her backstory. I don't believe any.
I don't believe any of it. And I only say, like, I've talked about that a lot too. It's like, it seems like these, like, I just hate how things are so freely talked about, like anxiety, depression. And it's like, that's one thing that I don't like about the series too, is because they're like, I don't know. It's just like they make a joke out of like really serious things. And maybe that's just how they kind of cope with it. But it's just,
well, I don't like when people use it as like a shield,
crutch,
or or are just really flippant about it. Like, oh, having a depressed day today. Like, it kind of devalues and it undermines people who like really do go through it and really do suffer from it. So that I just think it's disrespectful. It may not necessarily be malicious, but I just think it's just like not a good move, like not smart thinking there. So,
right, I agree.
Yeah. With her $600 fucking tracksuit on while she's having episodes.
Question: would you? Okay, so obviously, like Morphe, Jaclyn Hill, pretty canceled in our brains, right? I wonder, like, if I just saw Jaclyn Hill on the street, would I still freak out? I feel like I would still freak out.
I would tell her honestly, like, I would probably walk right by her and tell her, "Go fuck yourself." I'd be like, "Oh my God, Jaclyn!" If she was like, "Hi," I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself." I'm just so deep. Like I was deeply attached to her.
We need a GoFundMe page for Brittany so she can go to Florida and tell Jaclyn.
Oh, no, I would not even want it. Oh my God.
You know what I would really like somebody to do is just be like, hey, you want to try this lipstick? It's Jaclyn.
I'd throw it right on the ground.
Oh, sorry. Somebody's saying the boyfriend's offering to give me a back rub live stream or back. You know, it's not a back rub. So you're not choosing between a back rub and live stream. You're not. It's not a back rub. No guys offering back rubs.
We're probably about done here anyways.
That's how I ended up with a son.
I know. It all started with a back rub. True story. True fucking story. Okay, so
and on that note,
last question for you guys on the live stream, because I don't want to keep talking about just the shit that I keep talking about. Like, I think this was like the last hurrah for like Jaclyn and all of this just bullshit. I don't even know if I'm going to continue like the Shane things anymore. Do you guys like these types of videos? Like, I pull people on here that I genuinely love as other creators. You want to see more of them on here, and it'll be other people too. Like, I would love to do like a Will I Buy It with Samantha March. Just like stupid things like that.
Yeah, I'll do a Will I Buy It.
It's like, it'd be so cool to just keep doing these types of videos versus, I don't know, I feel like these, as much as I love commentary and like I'm infatuated by the drama, like I'm honestly considering like unfollowing drama channels because I just don't, like that's where I'm at now. I just don't want to see it because
it's toxic.
It really is. Like I even feel like it just, like I said, I log on to Twitter and I follow the drama channels because I like Nick Steiner. I fucking love his personality, just his ability to be outspoken. but I don't like what he's talking about. So I'm like, I think I just need to kind of cut the cord. Even like Dustin Daily, pretty much all the drama channels, they're talking about.
They're all making money. They're all making money doing it. They're not doing it because they're concerned for you. The reason people make commentary videos is because that's what makes them money. And AdSense is not a joke. You know,
it's not, especially when you're on the levels that some of them are now. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I kind of want to move. And talking to Karen yesterday, especially, was what made me like, I just want to turn my channel into what it started. And I know like my intentions were right, but I don't think I'm preaching to the right choir on my channel for these types of situations. It's like, okay, I said my thoughts on it. I need to get the fuck over it and just let it be and just not. I think that's kind of the message that we should all kind of take from it is you shouldn't be afraid to express yourself when it's something that is, I guess, concerning. Like, I don't regret at all, like the Jacqueline Cosmetics videos whatsoever. I feel like that could drastically affect other people. And it's important too to see, like, listening to these two people's perspectives on here has changed my thought process on, hey, maybe you shouldn't talk about this stuff because essentially it doesn't really matter after you say it so many times. And then maybe just don't talk about the makeup at all. Don't buy it. Don't do that. Like, that's more effective than sitting on the internet and ranting about it and still promoting these people or brands or whatever. Because I feel like that's the direction that marketing is going in. Do you guys think the same?
When you showed like those Sydney Gray shadows, like that's amazing. That's what people need to do is shout out small channels, shout out small brands, buy stuff, try stuff, and talk about it. You don't need to, you know, or teach people how not to shop, like whatever. Like, you know, there's a
Fiona Cosmetics is restocking soon.
I know. You have them.
I need
November 4th.
November 4th. Look at like let's go buy more makeup.
Just like Angelica's swatch party video, watch it. I saw her use
so good
in like person. Do you have them? Do you have all of them?
I don't have all of them, no, but I cannot figure out the fucking directions.
Show me. It's
left
fine. Just open it.
Those are the ones I have there.
Yeah, I need. So I have the jewel ones, which I feel like I made a mistake. I should have gone for like those, like the glitters and the iridescents.
Where is it?
I was gonna say, give me the tea because I want to buy some of those because I am so obsessed with the Sydney Gray ones.
Yeah.
That's literally like eyeshadow porn.
55-piece collection, Brit.
They're like horrifically expensive, but they're so fucking gorgeous.
Swatch the like the iridescent ones.
Okay. just do it for me.
Your wish is my command, my darling.
This is my back rub.
Oh shit! I just dropped something.
While you're doing that, I want to read this because it says, "Can you please still call out brands behaving badly, offering compensation for raving reviews?" Okay, Sunday Riley. No one names these companies, so viewers don't know because gurus are scared to.
I mean, that's a hard one.
I've never been offered money for raving reviews. I've been offered product in exchange. So you're going to probably see some like weird ass random video on my channel at some point on a canvas teepee. But I got it for free and my kids will play with it. So,
well, you guys, I have like a lot of the Sunday Riley oils and I really like them. So to me, it's like, I'm still going to buy them because they work on my face. Like the Juno oil for me, where I live, it's so old and my skin's so dry. That was like one of the first products that I actually repurchased because it helped my skin. They didn't need like the reviews, but
right. I think where I'm going to kind of pick and choose where I speak out because like I said, I think this whole increase in brands acting problematic, disregarding the consumers, lying to consumers, I think it's seemingly trending because it's working to sell their products because it gets more people talking about them. So I think unless it affects people, like unless something happens like Jacqueline Cosmetics again, that's probably the only place that I'll like go the fuck off about something because it affects other people. Like that could have physically affected people and it still can because it's still not very common. But
I have a whole swatch video on my channel.
And Fiona is amazing. There's well, I don't think they're that small anymore, but they're a Canadian indie brand run by like two sisters. They do everything themselves.
They're the sweetest ladies.
I need to try them because those look
responsive on social media.
They sent me a care package after I had surgery. Like they sent me all these like bath products and some eyeshadows, nothing like it was amazing. And candles, like they're just so sweet.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, it's really thoughtful.
It was a brand being considerate of their consumers.
And they there was one time I think I showed a shadow that was like cracked. It was usable, and they saw it in a video or Instagram or something, and they're like, "Can we send you a new one?" And I was like, "No, like you don't have to pay that shipping. It's fine." And they sent it to me anyway. Like I was like, "That's nuts!" Like that's what.
Thank you.
It's customer service, and so many brands are forgetting what customers like the value of customer service,
right?
And that's what makes loyalty. Like
it's easier to pay an influencer to be a clown and get your customers.
And that's not what's going to make me buy from a company at any rate. But like what's going to keep me coming back is their customer service. Makeup Geek has fantastic customer service.
I wait for that rebrand. I'm so excited for it.
They're so my dumbass ordered the same shade that I already had because dumbass. That's when you know you have too much makeup. So I emailed them. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. They're like, well, cancel it. Don't worry. They like refunded me instantly, and they weren't like, you're a fucking moron. Sorry, sucks for your luck. You're gonna spend your money on this. They're amazing. They're so fast.
You're not gonna have to wait
to like when they did Subculture, and you could return it if you didn't like it. Like at least they did that. Like
Dominique Cosmetics did the same thing. Like they had
lemonade.
They had something going on. Yeah, the lemonade palette. They had just like an inconsistency, and they sent everybody new palettes. Like I think those are the things that instead of focusing on the shitty things that brands are doing now, just because it's so popular and it just seems like that's what brands are doing just because they can. I'm gonna focus on. I'm gonna spend my time and energy on the brands that deserve it versus trying to cancel or instead of trying to spend all this negative, because even though it's like I have valid concerns and everything like that, what I say, people are still gonna fucking buy it anyways. That's just the reality, and that's where it comes back to cancel culture isn't even like a thing. I feel like Jacqueline, it's not a thing, but it's not.
I told Brittany about Morphe. I told her, I was like, I was so mad at Morphe for so long. And I'm like, why? And I buy so many things from so many problematic people. It's like, I like Morphe liquid lipsticks and I have a bunch of their brushes. Like, I'm not going to throw them away. I don't have money to go buy new brushes. Like,
right. It's like, I was that bitch and I'm like, I'm throwing out all of them. And I just actually got my Sigma order today.
Yeah, I am trying to invest in nice brushes.
Yeah, but that's like a decision that I'm making because I want to showcase brands that I feel deserve it. So going forward from here, I'm at the point now, like, what's the final verdict? Like, do you think you're going to buy, since this is why we all came here, the Shane Dawson collaboration?
I'm going to say no.
You say that now, but I don't believe you.
I know, but like, okay, so I have a very great, like, good friend. She's very practical. Her channel is Hot Mess Ness, MUA, Vanessa. She's so sweet. And she left me a comment on my community tab, and she's like, if you're going to buy this just to review it, don't, because there's going to be a million people reviewing it, and I won't get it in time, because you can go to the Morphe store and buy it. Like, I know Annette, I don't know if you guys watch Annette's Makeup Corner. She lives in Vegas, and she does like super colorful makeup, and she'll just like, we've talked, like when Blue Blood came out, I was like, you should probably just call your Morphe store. And then she's like, thank you so much for telling me. And now she just goes to Morphe and buys it. Yeah. So people don't even have that advantage anymore with getting the palette first, because it's so hard to be.
I feel like even when I do review things so quick, like I feel like I was one of the very few that have done like both Lunar Beauty palettes. And it's like people don't want, it's like they don't get the views either, really. Like they get a little bit more than what I typically do. But it's not like, it's not like it used to be, I don't think. I think the algorithm is so different now, and I think it's because of what people are actually looking for on the internet now. Like, they're not really looking for new reviews anymore because they don't trust anybody.
Well, and the problem too is like shit's coming out so fast that by the time I get my Tati palette here in Canada, like 600 other things have come out. So it's kind of like, okay, well, do I review it now? Like, do people give a shit? I don't know.
Right.
Like, I just feel like it's irrelevant at that point.
Is the people that care about your opinion. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I kind of regret not buying that because it looks so pretty.
I love the layout.
And it still hasn't shipped yet. Yeah, but that was one of the things. That was probably my first purchase that I'm like, okay, am I interested in this? Am I just going to buy it to review it? But I was like, no, I think it's very practical. It's very ideal. I love the fact too that she actually said like who manufactures her products.
Oh,
like, she said Seed Beauty is who manufactures her palette. That's ColourPop. Yeah. So it's like she just puts it out there. Like brands, I respect that. And even if you don't like Tati, if you don't agree with, you think she like creates drama for sales, like every company does now. It just is what it is. But the fact that she was very transparent about that, like that's what made me want to buy it when I saw the transparency. And I was just like, I love the fact that I woke up like 3 hours after the launch and it wasn't sold out yet.
Yeah.
I like that. So those are the things like if I log on, like in my mind right now, I'm going to buy the collection just because I want to support Shane, and I've never bought his merch or anything like that. And I didn't get any of the new merch. So it's like, I'm looking at it like I want to buy the collection. I would like to review it. I think it's the most wearable palette that Jeffree Star Cosmetics has done. And I love the formula. Would I buy everything if I didn't have a channel? Probably not. But those are like the questions that or like the points that I'm making in my head now. Like, this is where I'm choosing to spend my money, you know? But I can't help but side eye certain things in the whole series though. But I will say like the more that I see the series, the less I'm like, when I first started watching, I was hyped about it.
Well, and the genius thing with marketing is somehow we've connected buying something as support. And I know somebody support doesn't
whole different conversation right there.
Like, you know, it doesn't. It's not. You don't have to put money behind it, and that's what is. It's such a scam. Because I'm like,
wow,
you're like, I'm gonna support Shane. I'm like, bitch, you don't need to support Shane. He's got money. He's fine.
If you're watching the videos, you are so wow.
Yeah,
I didn't even wow.
His AdSense is paying his bills. Don't worry about him.
See, this is where perspectives is so interesting because you just like blew my fucking mind because that is such a valid point. You shouldn't have to spend your money to support somebody. Like I'm watching all of his videos for the entire time. That's probably paying him more than me buying his palette. But let me buy his palette and whole collection on top of it.
Oh, right. Just buy what you want, but don't think that you have to buy everything to support him. Like, that's, yeah, I'm sure so many people feel that way. And
I wish we had that, like, as soon as we started this conversation.
It came up in my brain, but there's so many good things to talk about. It's like,
oh my God. I'm just like, oh my gosh. All right, so let's see what the final verdict is from everybody, and then we'll check out of here. So we said... Oh, somebody said, I want to see you review the new Huda Beauty Mercury. Well, Karen just got that, and she was swatching it all over to me.
I did swatch it, but then
I got it nice. Is it nicer than the pictures?
So, yeah, I don't know how well it's going to look on my skin tone. It's, like, very light.
Yeah, yeah.
But I thought that about the nude palette, her new nudes when I got it, too. I thought it wouldn't work, but it's hard to say. But I totally, like... The packaging, I really like Huda as a brand. I try to talk about it more because when I was in New York, like the YouTubers are like, oh, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, she's like brown girl magic. Like for people from where I'm from, there's like, we always get lumped in with every other culture. And it's like somebody that has my skin tone in Sephora, like that's really cool for me. So I try to support.
Right. You're spending money to support, bitch.
Yeah. Everybody needs more money.
Oh, just a little hypocritical. It's all good.
We're judging, Karen. We're judging.
Yeah. Mini palettes are the new ones are good. The nudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep looking at it because, like, day-to-day basis, I wear those kind of shades. That's why I'm not so mad about the conspiracy one, because I think I'll actually get a lot of use out of it. But
yeah, and those small.
I think too. I think that's even like a bridal palette.
Mhm.
Even though like the pops of color kind of like throw you off a little bit, because that's how I judge a lot of makeup, especially eyeshadow palette. I'm like, would a bride wear it? Because I feel like in everybody's minds, that's like the most realistic type of looks. Is like a bridal type of makeup,
right?
You know, like your skin but natural, your eyes but natural, like smoky but natural, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the most. I gotta pull out. Like I still have Beauty Killer, the Jawbreaker, Blue Blood, which totally wearable eyeshadow palette right there. But I think Beauty Killer might have been the most.
Well, what about the Thirsty? When you said you thought Shane Dawson's palette was the most wearable, I was kind of shocked because I was like, really? It's got a lot of.
Maybe that's. Oh, I don't have it. I always forget about the Thirsty palette, honestly. I don't have it.
No? It's got like a row of neutrals and then the row of like the bright colors and all those shimmers in the middle.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that. I want to see. Karen, how many palettes do you have of his? Do you have all of them?
Sure. No, I just have the 2 trunks and the Alien and Jawbreaker.
So you have all but like one.
No, I have all but 3.
Just joking.
Oh, and I don't have
I'm just joking. No, because like the one video,
eyeshadow palette collection.
the one video I want to see with this palette, and I wish I could be the person to do it. I want to see them compare like all of the shades in that palette, because I think what one of you two said it in the beginning. I feel like these shades have been done before by this brand, or like if not identical, really fucking close.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look at the Thirsty palette. I forgot about that palette, honestly.
Yeah,
so you might have stumped me right there.
That's why I was like, let me try all my Jeffree Star palettes, because.
Oh, I'm sorry for my I unplugged my ear thing. Oh, show it to me.
Shimmers in that palette.
What are you holding out on me? How many Jeffree Star palettes do you have?
Like 4 or 5. I can't remember. Yeah, there. The color's not great on the camera, but
no, but I think that is more wearable because it's got more browns, and I feel like, well, I say wearable for me because I wear a lot of brown shadows.
I will say, like, some of the shades not great though. Like this one and these 2 down here, just the texture of them, not great. Not terrible, but not great.
Yeah, I didn't think the texture was. It was
They're
very
a little crumbly.
Yeah.
They kind of remind me of like the Melt Cosmetics, you know, when they like raise out of the pan and get all puffy and stuff. That's what these.
Yeah, and I used to own Thirsty and Beauty Killer. I got rid of both of them. I don't know. It's gotten better with time, but I wouldn't say he's the most consistent brand for me, eyeshadow wise.
Yeah.
I think my favorite shadows right now are Lunar Beauty.
Really? I'm shocked to hear that. I now have 2 fucking Lunar Beauty palettes because of you.
They're so good though.
You're just like my personal makeup shopper now. You're like, you need this. Oh, okay. If Brit says I need it, I need it. And you haven't steered me wrong yet.
Try Kaleidos. Have you guys seen those palettes? Oh, they're so nice.
Which one?
Which ones?
The Kaleidos palettes. They're like this big. I'm not in my beauty room. Let me pull them up on Instagram really quick. Let's just
I'm like,
shout out brand.
What you talking about?
These guys. They're sorry. Hold on.
While you're looking, I'm going to say hi to Nene Marie. She's killing it with the Halloween looks over on her Instagram channel.
Oh, hi, Nene. What's up, girl? Oh, I can't. Your thing's all. It's like blurry.
It's so bright. Hold on.
I love how we're both.
I'm like really sucking at my phone right now. These guys.
You're dropping the ball, Karen. No, I can't see it. How about you do this?
They're an indie brand.
Comment the brand name so we can go.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Did I hear Teresa talking about those?
Possibly.
Or it was either Teresa or you. But I've seen those quite a bit actually.
They're sending out a lot of PR to smaller influencers. So,
Britt, I think do a live collab with Teresa because I think that would be hilarious.
I want to so her so bad
because she I had a subscriber that met her and she's so sweet, like you know, because she like swears so much, like, but in person she's just like very much just like.
It's because we get all our aggression out by swearing.
Like, what's up, beach? I love her so much.
Because sometimes I'm like, I want to comment and be like, "Hey, bish, what's up?" And I'm like, I would like in person, you don't even want to really say that to her.
Oh, I totally would. I'm like, bitch.
You run into her at like Starbucks or something. You're like, "Yo,
hell
bitch."
Yeah. Oh hell yeah! I would 100%. I would just forget that. I think I would love to see her reaction to that, knowing that she's more like when you first meet her. I would just love to see her reaction if she would be like, "Bitch." Oh man. Okay. They're asking what that brand name was that you were talking about.
Oddly Aquarian. She got it right.
You got it right. Send it to the screen.
Yeah, there we go.
And somebody's asking whether Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath are worth it. It's a hard one.
Dude, I think that palette's so fire.
Yeah.
Which one?
I love it. But I think if I was like not a YouTuber, the mini nude and the mini gold palette, 100%.
Mini gold, 100% all the way.
Oh my God.
Love it so much.
If you like greens, fuck me up. That palette is so good.
I would do dirty things with that palette.
The dark green in the Metropolis.
I love the Metropolis.
Yeah.
That palette blends so well.
Yeah.
It blends. It just blends like I can't explain it. The matte blend.
I think they're a little bit more like finicky. Not finicky because they're not. It's like you just have to blend a little bit different. I think. It's almost like if you like stab it, it just blends.
Yeah,
I feel about it.
It's so creamy. It's just
so
write a letter.
So good. I love the fact too. I'm gonna pull mine out because it's right in front of me. If you guys haven't seen it, which I think everybody has at this point. I love the fact though. I hate this sleeve. I fucking hate that so much.
I know it's such.
But I like that they're smaller, and they actually fit this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little things. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I don't think I don't know, Kara, what do you think? Like if you have the mini gold, would you buy this?
I have the mini gold and I'm not going to buy that one. So I guess that's my answer. I don't know. It's a pretty palette. It just doesn't set my heart on fire. I think it's the price.
On fire.
I think she sets the price too high. If their prices were lower, because for me here in Canada, it's I think 121. So
I think it's more than that.
Oh, you're right. 171. Right? They're 171 for the big ones.
Yeah, that's steep.
And I mean, honest to God, I would probably buy two if they were $90. You know what I mean? Like two of that price. If they were I would spend more money if they were oddly enough. But when they marketed, when they price them at that high of a price point, that's just, it takes a lot of justification, and I have to feed my children. So
I was a total Natasha Denona person because there were her first palettes that I bought when she kind of first came out were not good. The formula was very crumbly. I bought a 5-pan palette. It was $50. And I just was nope, not doing it. And then I slowly started sipping on the Kool-Aid. And now I'm just
we're toking it up right there. We'll go.
Yeah. and then it's the same thing with the Jaclyn Hill thing, because then I got to meet Natasha Denona in New York, and I'm like, I love you so much.
That's right.
That's cool.
That's right. I saw that IG story, I think, right?
Yeah. She was doing a meet and greet in Sephora. That was the highlight of my
I'm this bitch is meeting Samantha March. You met so many people that I love on this platform, and I'm just and now she's meeting Natasha Denona. Why am I not in New York City right now?
Why aren't you? You live in New York. That makes no sense.
I had weddings, goddammit.
No, okay, so Sephora 2020, guys. Keep the day free.
When is it? Do you know what it is? Oh,
I don't know, but we decided that's where we should go next.
Have you been to Sephora before? Because
No.
Patrick Star was raving about it when he was like trashing
BeautyCon, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. But
I'm not one bit tempted to go to BeautyCon. Not my thing.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't spend that money. I mean, it was great as like a meeting point. Like we all decided it was great as like a meeting point, but the event was very mediocre.
Was it for BeautyCon or for Ipsy that you were just talking
Ipsy, yeah. And so then like they have a creators night, which is great. I didn't know you could buy a ticket to creators night, but those creators night tickets are like $300 unless you get invited. Like, and then they get
invited.
I have to pay $300 to leave my house.
I thought you had to get invited, but then they opened it to the public, so you could buy a $300 ticket, which then you get like a bag full of like full-size stuff, but the brands weren't really like ones you would see at Sephora. So like,
right.
And then I got like the regular people goodie bag, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for like luggage to put a bunch of samples in my bag so I can.
Right. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, but it was. There's a cat.
Yeah, I just saw it like come in the night. You're like,
actually, this is my cat Sephora.
Sorry, what's your cat's name?
Sponsor me.
Get the fuck out of here. Your cat's name is Sephora.
Yeah.
That's
I can't even stand you. Sephora's on my shit list, Karen.
Listen, I want a ginger cat so I can name it Alta. Like I literally.
Oh, like I cannot. Are you gonna get a black cat so you can name it Morphe next?
Ooh.
We will come for you.
Name it Richard.
I cannot even deal with you. Your cat's name is Sephora.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I do like the brands that Sephora carries. I just try not to take their point system personally. It's like
I just want to restock my fucking Tatcha Dewy skin cream. God damn it! Oh, this is one thing. I'll address this since there's still a pretty good amount of people on here now. If you're shopping, because they have the Sephora
sale,
the Sephora sale is coming up. It starts on the 1st. Do not cash in your points. I mean, they need to give you the opportunity to. Don't cash in your points like at the time of the sale because you can't double dip. And then I don't think you can return stuff that you buy with your points either.
Oh, like you mean the gift cards? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Like if you cash in your points for the
you can't use them for the sale.
Right. You can't use them. Well, you can, but you can't get the sale discount.
Right.
Right.
And then I don't think you could return. So I'm going to use my points to get like restock shit, like that I know that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to mention that since there's pretty, talk about how trash their point system is.
Oh, we did.
We're like, they're on such our shit list. Me and my cousin were like going off about it on Twitter yesterday. And she was like, I spent thousands of dollars and I can't even cash in for $100 gift card.
Did you guys see also that like Ulta now has Afterpay?
Yeah. I'm telling you, if Tatcha and Hourglass went to Ulta, I would never shop at Sephora.
Why don't you just buy off Tatcha's website? They do friends and family.
I need to. But I like the convenience of Sephora, goddammit. And I was like, oh, they're gonna improve their point system, and now it's sucking ass. Like
every time they say they're gonna improve it, it's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're gonna do $100 gift cards. I'm like, when the fucking moon is high and like I've stepped backwards 28 times. Like it's stupid.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It is not a commodity. Just put the fucking code on there and let people have it.
I know. And they're like, oh, we sold out. It's like,
no, you didn't. You don't have a warehouse full of $100 gift cards. Go fuck yourself. It's a series of letters and numbers.
Exactly. Oh,
but that's how they get you.
Fuckers.
Sunday Riley went to Ulta. Do you think Sunday Riley's like canceled right now, even though we've said canceled isn't like a thing?
I don't care.
I'm gonna buy that oil anyways.
Honestly, it's not my fight to fight. Like, there's so many.
That news came out ages ago, though, didn't it? About their like fake reviews. Like that came out months ago.
I think they just like finalized the lawsuit, though. I think that's why it's like a thing.
Okay, and like nobody. I don't think their sales blipped. I think they're doing okay.
Right.
They're still charging $100 and shit for oil.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, I haven't repurchased since then, since hearing about that, just because I just don't like when I like, it's like all those things. It's like, we know you want to make money, but we don't want to know that. I don't want brands to lie to the consumers. That's all. I don't care. Like, just don't lie to us. If like, that's what we were talking about a million times with that Norvina thing. It's like, I feel like if she just had come out and said, like, hey,
we signed an agreement.
Yeah, like, hey, we signed an agreement. Boom. Like, here's all of this shit. But it's like, I feel like we just feel like we're being tricked and we're just kind of over it.
But are we though? Because we're all well aware of what's happening. Like, you're not confused.
I know. I know.
Like, the thing is, like, you're lying to your consumers, but we all know. Like, so what? Where's
I know. Oh man, I think lots of brands do it. Sunday Riley just got caught. That's probably totally true.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I was telling you,
or brands just delete negative reviews more frequently.
Right, which YouTubers do that too. So,
yep, true story.
Because you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
I love when people get mad though when you delete a comment. And it's like, well, why should I be subjected to your negativity?
Exactly. Well, not even that. It's like then it just like asks for even more, because then like then your audience starts arguing with one another. And I just heard Samantha talk about that. Like, she got really upset in her video. She's like, I'm just not in a good space. And she's like, because she was gonna buy the Tati Beauty palette, but she decided not to just because of the negativity that her video got just by talking about it. And she's like, and then people just started going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's like, why? Just don't comment. I don't understand why it's so hard for people.
And she's like so nice. Like, you could not be mean to her in her face. I promise.
She's so sweet.
It'd be like,
I think killing like terrify her.
Like, she's like
terrify her.
Like, don't be mean to YouTubers. They're just doing this for free, sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
I bet you though, when it adds up, like I bet you when you really look at it compared to how much money people spend versus how little that we make on YouTube, I guarantee it is like doing it for free.
I think that applies to us, but once you get past a certain point, like some of the YouTubers I was talking to, they were like, oh yeah, like I make more money on YouTube than my day job. And I'm like, I'm definitely doing something wrong.
Must be nice.
Yeah. I'm definitely doing something wrong.
I would be so curious to just like pick their brain and be like, what, how did you figure it out? Because I feel like it's just like a mind fuck right now, because algorithms are totally different. And it's like, I don't know, it's so hard to.
I don't know how people like grow their channels. Mine's just like moving along, doing its thing.
I know.
Like,
I've had a channel for, I mean, not that I've consistently been on YouTube, but I mean, when I was in college, and that was a long time ago.
I hear you.
So I mean,
and consistency definitely makes a difference, because when I was more consistent, I was gaining fast. But then of course I was talking about Jacqueline Cosmetics. Like my numbers shot up when I was talking about that. But I'm like,
I think that was the topic too, because so I talked to somebody that I don't want to like name drop because I don't know if they want me to like, so, but somebody said they think that YouTube is changing. It used to be consistency, but they think now if you upload consistently, but you don't have people consistently watching your videos, you're almost getting pulled off being suggested, because it's like, that's
why I just do what I do, and I'm not so worried about trying to crack the code, because I don't have energy for that. So I'm just going to post my shit and see what happens.
Right.
You cannot predict. My top viewed video is on a fucking eye massager. It has like 12,000 views. I'm like, who the hell would ever think anybody would watch that?
Like a jade roller?
Or no, like a little, like, it has like an electric current thingy. So like you hold it with your hand, and then when it touches your skin, it like warms up. And I'm just like, why the fuck have 12,000 people watched this? And like every day, like 200 people are watching this. And I'm like, God damn, if I'd known that, I would have made it more than 10 minutes. Yeah, right. It's bizarre.
I bet you if you made, going by your Twitter yesterday, or was it yesterday, the day before, about the divorced?
Oh my God. Yeah. People love fucking divorce stuff.
Oh yeah.
That thing was retweeted like 400 times. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, God damn. But you made such a valid point though. Like, especially like I went through that.
Now. What's divorce
No,
I think it was called constructive criticism negativity sometimes though. Yeah, they absolutely do. I think a lot of the times, a lot of people consider criticism canceled.
Yeah, and I think that's just people having like hypersensitive feelings. Like you have to be able to take some criticism and not view it as being hate. I think that kind of speaks more to the person who's reacting that way than it does to the person who's leaving the comment. Depending on the comment, of course, when people are just like, you're a fat fuck. I'm like, well,
yeah, that's where it's like,
nice.
Hey, fuck you. Yeah.
Right. And delete. Like it doesn't add anything to the conversation, but you can like disagree and add something to a conversation.
So I have like a weird story about a comment once where, you know how people will get mean comments and post it on like their Instagram, like, look at this asshole. And so one time
totally
guilty.
I did that, and oh boy, did I regret it. Because then the person was following me on Instagram and they're like, basically like call me out and was like, that's so mean. And I felt so bad because I was like, oh fuck.
This is what it's funny though. It's like, why are you offended by your own words getting posted? Like, don't make the comment in the first place if you don't want people to see it.
See, that's the thing. It's so many different perspectives. Because now when I get a mean comment, I try so hard to like think of it from the person that's posting its perspective. This is where I overthink things. And there's times where I'll respond like, I'm so sorry, the lighting was bad. Like, I'll try better. And then people almost feel worse that they said it.
Somebody's just asking for weird comments. I think the weirdest comments I've ever got are about my feet. And like I did like a closet cut, like declutter, and my feet were in it for like literally like 7 seconds of like a 28-minute video. And this guy whose name was like Footprints or something. And he's like, oh, those are beautiful, meaty soles. I'd love to see you do a shoe try on. I'm like, why the fuck are you watching me clean out a closet when you could literally go to Google and just type in foot fetish? Like,
right?
The fuck? Get off my channel, you weirdo.
Oh my God, that's everything. I don't think I've had any like weird comments. I get very weird things on my live streams. Like somebody was like, I'm outside your house. And I'm like, that's fucking creepy.
Oh, that's not. Yeah. I get stuff in like Russian every now and then. I'm like, what about my purely English video makes you think that I have any idea what you're talking about?
I know.
And like, I wouldn't even know how to type that into like a Google translator because I don't have that keyboard. So I'm like, well, sorry. Read the room. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right? Hales is asking about declutter culture. Your thoughts? Sorry, I'm coming to Glenn. I just want to pick your brain. No, that's what these videos are for. So how do you feel about declutter culture?
I'm all for it. I film them. I don't know what the declutter culture is per se.
Appropriate when used wisely.
Yeah, right.
Everything.
I was doing it to just kind of like follow with the trend because I saw that they were very popular. Like my eyeshadow palette declutter was so popular. Like that was one of my top viewed videos for a while. And I was doing it to like make room in my drawer. But then in reality, like I never actually got rid of them. I just like took them out of my drawers and I just stuck them back behind there, which I never touched.
Like, ooh, exposed.
Right? I have 4 bags of stuff behind me with like stuff that I've decluttered that needs to get like rehomed or tossed. So I hear you. It's not like I've really made a dent. It's just I've moved it. So it's a rehousing.
And then I see the point in decluttering if it's like expired. But even if like you're not using it, like I still don't really want to declutter it because I've spent my hard-earned money that I bust my ass working for on it. It's one thing if it's like PR that was sent to you and you're not using it and then kind of like giving it to somebody else or whatever. The comments that I hate the most on those videos though are like when people are like, oh, can you send me all that stuff? And it's just like, know. Like, it makes us feel very uncomfortable, I think, when people ask those things.
Or when people say like it's a huge waste, and I'm like, well, if it's sitting in my drawer and I'm never ever using it,
like that's
how
like
how does that
work? Like,
you know,
right? Right.
I just decluttered lipsticks, and I did it because I needed it. I mean, I filmed it, but it was so good for me to do it because I didn't know what I had. Like, I knew, but I didn't know how much. And like, I swatched every shade, and I'm like, okay, like you can part with like your 800 mauve lipsticks. Like, like if you're doing it
sort of into color category, and I was like, wow, I have 8 that look the exact same.
Right. And it's like,
from like 2012. Like, it's time.
If you decluttered and you kept it, like, good, whatever. Like,
yeah.
Shit.
That's where it's like, I feel like too, like, I feel like for a while there, it was like people were decluttering like I was. Like, it felt so good to declutter, but then you instantly get like that remorse, like, but do I want to get rid of it? Because I don't feel bad, like, especially like BoxyCharm. I get tons of palettes in BoxyCharm. I'm like, there's certain things I don't feel bad about, but if I know that I worked to buy it, I'm like, I don't want to declutter it. But then I feel, I don't know, it's like, it's one of those things where I don't think I think it was very trendy for a while, and I feel like it still is, like, people still like to see it, but I remember just seeing people just only doing like declutter videos because that's what people were watching at the time. Like, in those cases, like, if you have a smaller collection, don't feel like you need to declutter. And I feel like that's what was happening. Like, the more declutters that people were doing, it's like people were like, oh, I should declutter my collection. Like, if you don't feel like you need to declutter it, don't declutter it.
I declutter it when I run out of room. Like, when it's like the drawers are busting open and stuff like that. I just need to reorganize. And
I like listening on Poshmark because I'm like, maybe somebody else will enjoy this. And I mean, I don't like price things like unreasonably, I feel like. And most of my stuff is like one time. Like, and I literally say, like, I have a YouTube channel. Like, I don't even care to like fill this description box so you can like get it out of here. Like, you know. Somebody's asking what we think a normal makeup collection would look like.
I'm so out of touch with what a normal collection would look like. Even my 7-year-old daughter has like far more than what anybody would ever need.
Yeah, it's
like staple products, like a foundation, a concealer. I don't know. I can't relate. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think having options is nice, but I don't feel like you need like 8 foundation. Like, no. Like, when you find a foundation you like, stick with that foundation. And
I used to be that person. I used to have one foundation and one eyeshadow palette.
Yeah.
And we were all good. Like,
and you spend way less time deciding what you're going to use when you have fewer things.
That's where I'm at now. I like go through my drawer. I'm like, okay, what do I want to use today? And then it's like, what am I guilting myself into using? Because it's like, okay, I bought this $129 eyeshadow palette. I should probably use it. But ever since I got the Lunar Beauty palette, I'm like, that's all I've been using. So it's like one of those things where it's like you have to like make it a priority. But if you have a smaller collection, I think eyeshadow palettes are like the best thing to collect if you're going to collect anything.
Well, they don't go bad nearly as fast. I don't even know that they do go bad, to be honest. But
Emily Han is in the. I recognize her name. Hi, Emily.
Emily. Clutter trend isn't realistic. You buy the makeup and spend the money. True story.
What are we getting from the Sephora sale?
Oh God.
I don't know.
We're talking about not buying makeup as much.
You're gonna get the Tatcha, right? Or are you not gonna buy from Sephora anymore? What's the
waiting? I think the only things that I want to get are gonna be like holiday sets. Like the I need to look at, because I always add everything to my loves list. So I'm like debating because I want to stuff that I know that I like, I'm going to use my points for. But for the sale, I want to get like the Charlotte Tilbury, like the little lipstick set with I think it's like 2 or 3.
The $25 set.
Yeah, like just little shit like that. I think I'm not going to go like balls of the wall. I don't think. I say that.
I say that every time, and then I'm like, oh, there goes $300.
Right.
And there's so much coming out too. Like, I'm sure the Milk collection is going to be like over $100 with 2 eyeshadow palettes and
When
the
the hell
highlights.
is that thing releasing? Does anybody know?
I don't know. I think
Beth kept
I'm
secret.
still waiting for that freaking blush that we were talking about to come to Sephora. Remember the one?
Oh yeah, it's not gonna come. I've decided.
She's like, I'm so pissed about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy it with the Melt collection when that happens. So I'm gonna pick up like skincare. I want like a new eye cream, and maybe that green palette from Anastasia. I don't know. And the Huda palette would have been nice, but I already bought that, so
I might pick that one up. I'm not sure. I usually add stuff to my loves list, but I've ported them all over into my cart so that I know the running total, and it's like $1,700. I'm not spending $1,700.
I know.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
But I do it that way so that I can then just like cross stuff out of it. Like that's just my process. But.
And the crazy thing is too, the sale, like it's so strategic because they're doing it in November, the first week, because you know that Black Friday is coming. So I'm gonna probably double spend.
It's a good thing I've lived in court in October so that I actually have money in November. That'll be nice.
I know, right? I just saw another question. That was a good one. Oh, who was it? Hold on. Oh, yeah. I have it highlighted on the screen. What the hell? Do you think no buys would force the brands to produce less? It's just so much pushing out, it gets exhausting.
I think it's the same as boycotts, frankly. Unless like everybody commits to it, I think there's still going to be enough demand and stuff, so much purchase that it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
I kind of look at it like this, like if Too Faced is still around, after all their controversies, and then they're like their gradual downhill in production of stuff, it's like, I feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like any brands are going anywhere right now.
Yeah, I just wanted to see like the research on like how many people watch YouTube versus the actual beauty community and the actual population, and like how many people actually buy makeup. And then I feel like
I think people that like aren't really into YouTube, like they don't know what the fuck's going on with like Too Faced, or they don't know who Jared Blandino is. They see like pink eyeshadow, I want, and away they go, right? Like they're not. It's not that deep for them.
Who has
and then we're all here like, fuck that brand. They're pieces of shit.
People are buying Morphe, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, why? It's cheap. Oh, okay.
I used to give people cancer or itchy eyes or something.
Right.
You know what you're doing.
Maybe we just all need to detach from just things.
I'm telling you, that's key to a healthy long makeup.
It's the key to a healthy long makeup relationship.
Be happy with what you have.
I know. Emily says, I'm debating between Manny and Huda.
Ooh.
Which Manny palette for one?
And which Huda palette? The new one?
And which Huda palette? Give us the tea. I hear Black Friday, but that doesn't make sense. Oh, for Melt.
Does Sephora do stuff? Oh, for Melt. Okay. Does Sephora do anything for Black Friday?
Well, they do like extreme sales, like
oh yeah, you know, and they'll have like 20 things or whatever.
And Natasha Denona palettes will go on sale or something.
Right.
Huda or Manny?
Or Mercury?
Because so I've only used like the neutral row, and then I used the green shade from the Manny palette, and I didn't like it.
Careful.
It's so hard. It's like
she will X you out of the screen.
I'll remove you from the chat, bitch. No, I noticed with the moon spell, it stains my lids a lot more, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like I wore like the rose gold shade the other day, and my eye was pink after. I'm like,
that's bizarre.
I haven't had that. See, I wear like the purples and all that, and I didn't have that problem, but
yeah. And I always try to tell people, like, when I use a palette, it's not a review, it's just me playing with it. And that's like a problem I've seen in myself, where I buy too much, really, where I don't go back. So now I'm like, I want to play with the other shades, like especially the Carly Bible, because people are like iffy about the quality. Like I really liked it the first time I used it, but I'm like, I don't know if it's that great yet because I haven't used it a second time.
Right.
So
their collections, man. Let's see. What did you think in the Shane series about the quality of the eyeshadow? Pricing is a range from 40 cents to 180 per shadow for the best. Do you remember that from this? I don't remember that.
When they were talking about like
all.
margins on makeup, is that what they were talking about? Like when he was like, "Oh, Kylie palette's probably like $3."
I don't think it was very fair for them to say like. This is one of those things that I feel like they painted other brands in a bad light to make themselves look better. Like, because ultimately,
but is anybody proving them wrong?
What's that?
Is anybody proving them wrong?
No.
Like, is Kylie coming out and be like, "This is how much it cost me," because that's what I do.
Yeah, no, I totally would too. I'd be that brand that was like, "Hey, fuck you! Like, you're not the one that's doing this." Because I think that's how they kind of made it. Was like, Jeffree's like the only one that's spending more on his quality. But you're right. No one's proven him wrong.
Yeah. I don't think that he is the only one, but I mean, if you work in any part of like a sales marketing process in any business, you know that business isn't going to function without margin. And like my husband, he always is like, "We're in the wrong business. We should be making makeup."
I know, right?
Right.
Oh my God. Could you imagine even trying to start a brand right now though?
I want somebody to do a video so badly on like one-hit wonder brands.
You have to bring so much to the table to even like blip on anybody's radar.
Well, and I think it's such a sneaky thing that some of these smaller brands do where they target the micro-influencers and since I watched
how you felt about that, about how we're like we're a new marketing technique.
Mm-hmm. And most of us are so grateful to get something. Yeah. That it's like, oh my God, they thought of me. I mean, that's how I see. Yeah.
I wish that there was more transparency in that regard though. Like, you know, every now and then I'll get emails and they're like, "What's your rate card?" I'm like, I don't even fucking know what a rate card is. Like, I would have no idea what my value with my subscriber count, my reach would be. And there's just like no discussion about that. So that's the kind of stuff that like I feel smaller influencers, and I don't like using the word micro or nano or anything like that because I think it's a little demeaning, but like smaller influencers, we don't really know what our value is. So I think a lot of brands that are reaching towards the smaller channels are taking advantage because they can. Because, you know, a lot of us are just like, woohoo, I get something. And if they're like, "Here, I'll throw you a peanut," I'm like, okay, because nobody's thrown me a peanut before. Like, you know what I mean? It's
yeah, I'm just like, because I look at it like it doesn't cost the brand a ton of money to send like a PR thing. And like, I'm one of those people, I'd be happy just to receive the PR. Like, don't pay me money. That's just like, because in my mind, especially if it's something that I'm interested in, I'm going to spend the money on it anyway. So it's like, that's
you've already saved money. It's like,
that's like a money exchange in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it does cost them money to send PR, but I think it costs less than paying somebody to promote.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I wish PR was a little different. I feel like for me in the perfect world, it would be you would get paid based on your video. Like if you went and bought the product, I don't know how
that would be a good idea if they did that. Like if you actually took the time, you bought the product or whatever, and then they saw it and was like, you did like, or almost like you could negotiate like, okay, this is the video that I did. This is everything that, because like Jen loves reviews. She does so much research and all this shit. And it's like a person like that, that's doing research and actually doing something besides putting it on and being like that's what I do. I just put it on and I'm like, okay, it works or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't talk about ingredients and stuff because I am not educated on that.
Same with like Stephanie on her channel for those types of things. What are you talking to you talking to Sephora again?
No, somebody mentioned the spin brush. I think we've all got the spin brush at some point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, where'd she go?
Yeah. Oh no!
You did delete her.
I did?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm like, I don't think I did. Oh no!
I don't know, but it's probably a good way to wrap up because I got court in the morning and it's almost midnight.
Left us. Okay, because I was say it's like we've been on here for 2.5 hours. Goddamn.
She's like, I gotta go to work in the morning.
I gotta go to court. Yeah. Sure, my client would prefer I don't fall asleep.
I know, right? So if you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. After I'll, I don't know if it goes right up. This is like a new thing. I'll post it. Go check out their channels. They're going to be linked in the description box. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I feel like there was so many people for so long, which was awesome. So I think people like this. If you guys want to see more videos like this, different topics, all that sort of shit, you guys got anything to say?
The divorce advice.
I know, right?
A lot of people want to hear a lot of like juicy stories. I'm like, I gotta tread lightly so I don't get my ass disbarred.
You gotta tread lightly before you get your new PR package.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh my god, I can't see. I feel like I have to say about it.
I hope I get out of court early tomorrow so that I can like bust my ass home and just be like, what's on my porch?
Just convince everyone to settle.
There's no convincing this asshole to settle. Oh my god.
I know.
Anyways, that's all I gotta say.
No convincing that asshole.
No, he's crazy. He's the reason I posted what I did on Twitter.
Oh my god.
Like,
this is amazing.
don't send your 12-year-old your suicide threats. Don't.
Just don't do that. Oh man, this is too bad. Give us more notice. This was a trial thing, so we'll do that next time. This was like, okay, let's all try to figure this out together.
I literally like unpackaged my microphone and plugged it in as like I was waiting to enter into the chat. So that's how prepared we were.
I loved it. Loved it. So if you guys want to see more of them, anybody else, whatever, we'll probably
Thanks, Audley.
Like you guys, if I'm on your guys' channel or whatever you guys want to do. I loved it. Thank you guys so much for coming on here and chit-chatting with me.
Thanks for having us. I was so excited when I got your message. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to do that.
I just thought it was so cool.
It's a new hip thing. All the cool kids are doing it.
Right? All right, you guys. I will see you guys in my next one. I don't know when that will be, but I will let you guys know. Bye. Bye.